Theodore Roosevelt once said, "The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, and spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best, if he wins, knows the thrills of high achievement, and if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat."
All right, we're live, bro.
All right.
This is always like a hard part for me. Like I don't even know how to start, but
Yeah, hit that button. Din, 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 din.
which one is it?
I think it's that one. The top one, maybe?
Let's go. Hold on. All right, Gonzo, best friend on the planet, dude. I told you before we started, like something interesting happened to me earlier with Renee. 6.5 months sober. You know the struggle it's been for me. I was like really looking forward to her coming down the shore because like 6 months ago she wanted to kill me, and we went to the gym, went to breakfast, and she said something to me, and I wanted to share with you because I don't know if you have this issue or not, but she told me I need to start appreciating life more and stop worrying about like trying to do all these crazy things, and I don't know how to fucking do it. I don't know how to do it. I mean, like my whole goal in life is to just keep doing shit. And she said her words were stop chasing. In my mind, it's striving, and I think there's a difference. And I know we're very similar in that respect. Like I'm not thinking 10 years down the road. I'm thinking like I just got to maximize the day every fucking day. And I don't think that she understands that, right, wrong, or indifferent. That's just how I'm operating right now. You know, I mean, what do you think?
It's actually weird you say that because I said something to Brooke the other day, and I said, I think Anthony, and I could be completely off base here. Like maybe you just changed so much and this is just the new you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I said, I think, or I hope that Anthony can figure out how to live life sober and be able to have fun with us still. And I said, I feel like he's struggling with that a little bit because, see, you got to remember, we've known each other so long.
Yeah.
And I remember you before we were addicted to anything.
Yeah, we were normal.
You would like call me and be like, dude, you're not going to hang out on Sunday or do this or do that. And I would say, at that time we didn't have a problem. Did we know we were?
Yeah, we met each other in '97, dude, freshman year.
Yeah, so and it was like you always wanted to hang out. And there were plenty of times we hung out and literally got hoagies and watched football at your house or whatever we did. And it was just like you liked hanging out.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, I feel like after this addiction that you had and everything, and now that you're getting sober and your things are settling down, I feel like, and I don't want to say you lost that part of yourself, or did you just change so much that that's just not you anymore?
Dude,
I don't know.
It's funny you say that because like I've noticed that I've been more and more antisocial. You know what I mean? I'm trying to break into this whole leadership development career and get my MBA and do all these things. And I'm like, the only time I'm social is like at work when I'm dealing with the bosses or the subcontractors, the owners. Like in my personal life, it's been a fucking struggle, dude. Like we're brothers. And I've noticed that even last week, I'm like, probably letting Gonzo down, not going to that party, but like we had the dog issue and whatever, but like there's still no excuse. And I recognize that. And I even said to Megan literally yesterday, I wonder if Gonzo thinks I'm being a bad friend because I feel it. But you know me so well that you know that I hope you think that I'm not, but I feel that I am being one, if I'm being honest.
So the way I try to look at things is like, I don't think you're being a bad friend. I do believe that people need to kind of do what they want to do, throughout the day. Like you can't always be a people pleaser and do everything that everybody wants you to do, right? But at the same time, I feel like you are missing good times.
I think that was Renee's point.
With your friends. And dude, I just told you this the other day. There's a lot of times my initial answer is, no, I don't want to do that. And then once I go do it, I'm like, yo, I'm so glad we went because we had a great time.
See, I'm the opposite. My initial answer is, fuck it, I'll do it. Then when it comes time to do it, I'm like, I don't want to do this shit.
Like, I'm not going to lie, today, coming here, like, I woke up this morning, I'm like, yo, let me text him right now. Like, I was ready to go this morning.
Yeah.
And that was my fault. You know, I told you the time. And when you were like, oh, can we do it like this time? I'm like, yeah, I don't even want to do it now. Like, I don't even want to go. I don't feel like doing it. Like, it's a nice day out. Like, I just want to go.
Do what you want to do.
I want to do what I want to do. I got a couple errands I got to run. Like, I just kind of want to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
But, you know, I came. I know at the end of it, I'm going to be
bit.
glad that I came
Yeah.
and we did this together. But I will say this, man. Life can be short. It can be long. The issue is we don't know what it's going to be for us, right?
Yeah.
Until that day comes, right? And even when you die, you're not going to know anyway.
Yeah.
Like, it just happens and that's it. You're gone. Someone I know's brother-in-law at 55 years old just died the other day sitting in his chair watching TV, a heart attack. Out of nowhere.
Healthy-
He talked to him that morning.
Healthy dude.
As far as we know. He was talking to him that morning. Got a phone call that afternoon. Yo, I forget his name, his name. And yeah, we just found him dead on the couch or on the chair. So it's like, that could be any of us.
Well,
You know what I mean? And it's like, you do what you want to do. I don't think you're being a bad friend or whatever, but I will tell you this. You are missing fun times. And I just don't want to see you miss out on so much because you're so focused on staying sober and this goal and that goal and this goal and this goal. But dude, part of being sober is living your life, dude, and enjoying your friends and family. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so just don't, not saying you can't do what you're doing. You just got to try to balance everything a little bit.
I'm definitely struggling with the balance a little bit. I don't know, like if you follow the DBR Instagram, but I just saw a David Goggins clip a couple of days ago and we talked about it. But I want to bring it up again. It was like, dude, I thought it was like the most profound shit ever. He said, if you show me a person that has no drive, no motivation, and no passion, but still gets up every day and crushes life, that's going to be someone that's successful. And like, I equate that to AA too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't always want to go to a meeting. I don't want to always do my schoolwork, go to the gym, but like, I fucking do it anyway. And that's where I'm at. Like, I don't feel like I'm not like motivated to do anything right now. I don't know if it's a bad thing or that's just real life. Like, you leave treatment, right? We've both been to treatment a couple times. You leave treatment, you're fucking motivated. You feel excited. You want to get shit back together. Well, that's gone now. We're like 6.5 months in. So now it's like, all right, now you got to keep grinding. And like, you know, I know some people think it's a bad thing. Like, we posted that on Instagram the other day and like a couple people asked me like if I was okay. I'm like, fucking great. You know what I mean? Like, just because I'm not super jazzed up about something don't mean I'm not great. But like, that's just where I'm at with it. Right, wrong. I don't even know if it's right or wrong. That's just where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like you're very similar. Do you just get up, you do your job, you be a husband, a dad? Like, do you want to do that shit all the time? No. You want to deal with customers every day? No. But like, that's where you're at. But you're a lot different than me. You're very, very, you do seem very passionate about life all the time. And I don't have that. I don't have that like you have that.
So I don't know if I'm passionate about life all the time. I will say, my wife, Brooke, says I am the most, how does she word it? She says I am the...
Just bring this bottom part a little closer. You can pull that down and over.
Right there?
Yeah.
She says I am the most lazy, successful person she knows. Something along them lines of like I try to do as least as I can, but get the most out of it.
Well, you're
see,
I would say you're efficient.
Yes, yeah. So it's all how you look at things, right?
Yeah.
But no, dude, I wake up all the time, man, and I'm laying there and I'm like, oh, I gotta take Lorenzo to the babysitter. I gotta take Bella to school. I gotta go do these jobs. Then I gotta go to the gym, and then I come home, and then I gotta cook dinner. And because the way we have it, Brooke and I both work.
Yeah.
So we try to carry the weight. We try to help each other out. Mm-hmm. I cook dinner mostly because we go off of my diet now.
Right.
What I eat.
Right.
And I like to cook my own food because I just, and some nights she does what she wants. So she'll make the kids dinner a lot of times, and I'll cook our dinner.
Right.
And then by the time you clean up, you get done, you look around, and you're like, man, it's 7:30.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to sit here, and then you got to go upstairs. And Brooke will give the kids baths.
Right.
And then I sit with Lorenzo and put him to bed at night. Some nights he falls to bed at 9:30. Some nights it's up at 11 o'clock. So, yo, Mika, Dad, I'm freaking out. I'm like, dude, I got to go to bed and wake up tomorrow. Like, I just, you know what I mean? And it does get difficult. So, dude, don't ever think like you're the only one that feels the way you do.
No,
like, I feel the same way. Like I'm not always like gung ho and let's go. Let's come at life.
Yeah.
I will say this,
but you always do though. But you always
because
do.
we have to.
Because you have to.
Because you have to, dude. The bills have to get paid. We can't be homeless.
Yeah.
My kids need to be able to eat. You know what I mean? Like there's things that have to be done. But I like Mike Tyson said it best.
Yeah.
Discipline.
Discipline
is when you do something you hate, but do it like you love it.
Absolutely. And do it well.
100% discipline.
100%.
And not saying that I hate all aspects of life or anything, but like, yes, there are times where it's like, man, I hate that I have to do this. But guess what? You get up and you go and do it and you just get it done and you don't complain about it and you just move on. And then you look forward to the days you don't have to do it, right? And then there's days where I wake up and it's the same routine. I wake up and I'm out of bed earlier and I'm like, I feel great today. I'm just like, hey, let's get it done. You know what I mean? And it's just, I think it's just being human.
I agree. Obviously in AA, they're always talking about gratitude and shit and like how it's an action word. And I thought about this last night at the meeting. I'm like, I was so excited for the past few weeks to come down here with Renee because my mother-in-law, because this woman hated me, bro. 6.5 months ago, hated me. And we were walking the dog the other day, me, Renee, and Megan, and I'm like, Renee, are you as excited as I am to come down the shore? And she's like, I don't want to be the third wheel. I'm like, you're only the third wheel if I don't want you to be there. You know what I mean? Like, I want you to come. So we took 2 separate cars. I got down here after them, and I was so fucking happy that I get to spend Mother's Day with Renee. Because, like, that just shows that AA works, dude. It's crazy, bro. Like, I was a maniac, dude. And that's why I wanted to do this with you. I mean, how many times have I said to you about writing a book?
Oh, dude, I kind of want to. I just honestly, I don't even know how to start or go about it, or I know that like I actually won't write the book. You get
ghostwriter.
You get a ghostwriter, and you kind of you just kind of tell the story, and then you just kind of write it out, and then you edit it, and you just keep
Yeah, it's your life, your story, maybe in somebody else's words that kind of be
you just keep editing it down to where it's like, okay, now we have a polished version.
Yeah,
and this is what we're gonna put out.
So, I'll just give some bullets about what I think about you. Like, we met freshman year through Barley, and I think we hit it off instantly. That's a fact.
Oh yeah.
I don't think from that point on we were ever not friends. We might not have seen each other all the time, but we got super close over time and became best friends. And we're like brothers now. And we both drank the same way, got out of control at some point, and I won't tell your whole story, but the bottom line is you were at one point. It got so crazy you were living in abandoned buildings in Kensington and Somerset, right? And I'm just gonna say the start to the finish: living in abandoned buildings. Kensington and Somerset, legal troubles, in and out of jail. And now you have 2 beautiful homes, right? 2 beautiful kids, a beautiful wife. You own a business. You're doing exceptionally well. And that's why I wanted you on here. Like, the day before rehab experience for me is different from you because, like, you've been sober. Well, you got away from the drugs for such a long time. You know what I mean? And, like, you just accumulate all this good shit, dude. Like, I remember when Murph picked you up. Obviously, I wasn't there, but they told me how skinny you were, dude. Like, you're a big dude. What do you weigh now? Like 220, you said?
No, right now I'm sitting at like 210.
210. So
211.
When they picked you up, you were like $1.50 or something.
I was like, I think when they picked me up and I actually got in the rehab, I think I was 153 pounds.
That's crazy.
And like, if you told me to get down to that weight right now, obviously, there's muscle involved, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think I could get down that light. I think if I stepped on stage for like a bodybuilding competition, I'd probably be like 175.
Best case scenario.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's like me like ripped.
Yeah.
Like right where I'm at currently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that I don't think that I could hit 153 without having no muscle mass and literally just melting away to nothing.
Dude. So, dude, walk me through it, bro, because I've heard your story a million times, but like maybe not every parts of it. What would you consider like your day before rehab? I know you have a couple treatments on your belt, a couple jail stints on your belt. What would you consider like the last time you fucked up to where you turned your whole life around? And what was that like for you?
All right. So when I finally, I guess you could say gave up, surrender, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. One thing I'll say about you is like, you don't abide by the traditional like AA or sobriety thing. Like you I think you have a unique and different story. You know what I mean? So like, at least that's my opinion.
So yes, I do. And I know we talked about some things you don't want me to touch on, and I won't if you don't want me to. If you want me to tell the truth the way I really
I want
the truth.
I want you to tell the truth because
Okay.
I think you're a special person, and I don't care what anybody says. You operate life in a way that works for you, and you make it work. I don't care what it is that you do or what somebody else would say. You do it in a special way that works for you and your family, and that's the end of it. That's the way it is.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So for me, it was the last time I went to jail. And honestly, the last time I went to jail, it was actually just not going to see my probation officer. So I did. I violated probation. I had a warrant out for my arrest. I was down in Kensington. It was like 10 o'clock at night. Me and my buddy were down there going to grab something. We're walking.
Yeah.
He was actually letting me stay with him at the time for like that last week. Mm-hmm. So that was like kind of nice. My buddy Anthony.
Okay.
That was nice because
he was getting high with you too?
Yeah.
Okay. All
right. Which that was really nice because like I didn't have to I'm sorry, Brandon. His brother's Anthony.
Okay.
Brandon. And cool dude, man. Good dude, good family. Well, they pull up, the warrant squad pulls up and just because that's what they would do down there, right? And just run your names. Because if you had a warrant, you're going to jail.
Right. Most people down there probably have something going on.
Oh, dude. So many people do. And I knew I did. And I was like, it's always, I just want to get high this last time. So let me get, like, I literally had the money in my pocket, dude. I've been waiting all day for this. Like, just let me just walk. I know where I'm going. I'm just walking up there. Dude, they asked two people's names and I just took off running, dude. And I ran so fast. The cop was in great shape, but they have all their shit on.
Yeah.
He took that baton out, threw it. It swung right by my head, dude. And I was running like as fast as I could, dude. Like I was gonna get killed.
He fucking threw it at you?
Oh, threw it at me as hard as he could. So now I'm running down was it A Street? Like it was on like Somerset. I ran like down A Street or something. If you know the neighborhood, you're running into the train tracks basically. I think it was one of them blocks. And I go left, and now I'm at the end of the block. Now I ran a block and a half race, so now I'm getting out of breath. I'm getting tired. Don't you know?
No
the
athlete
cop,
at the point.
The cop, no, the cop car comes right around the corner. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Goes to cut me, and I run right by the cop car. Now I'm getting tired. The dude in the cop car gets out, cuts me off, and just bumps me, dude. And I go flying because I'm so tired, so out of breath. And they were like, oh shit, he didn't hit his head on the curb, did he? Because I like went towards the curb. And I didn't, and I was fine. And they grabbed me like, yo, dude. They were actually cool. They didn't like treat me like I was like
They probably got hearts.
Some don't. Some do.
Sure.
They were cool. They were little. Dude was like, damn, dude, you made me chase you. I should kill you for that. And I'm like, dude, my bad, man. I said, listen, I got a warrant, man, and I just, you know how it is. Like maybe you don't know how it is. And then after that, they were like, cool. They were like, bro, you're gonna go down to whatchamacall. You'll be out in like 2 days. And I knew I wasn't gonna be out in 2 days because I knew I was done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just kind of knew. Like, I was.
What do you mean
done.
when you say you knew? Like, you knew you were going to do some time?
So, my judge name's Adam Beloff, and it's a shame that he actually wound up taking his own life.
Really?
Yes, right after. So, when did I get locked up? Like 2010, 2011, I guess. 2012 in Ventnor, in his home in Ventnor. Mm-hmm. They found him. And
that's crazy.
Super nice guy. Like, I was in front of him probably 4 or 5 times, but I only talked to him for, a handful of time, for a minute at a time, 2 minutes at a time, but he just seemed like a nice guy. Like he actually wanted to help you. It wasn't just like throwing numbers at you and trying to just get you in jail. So when I went, I told them that, and I don't know, they just say the scary. He didn't really mean it. But then I sat in jail for 30 days down on State Road, the House Corrections. When I went to court, the lawyer sitting next to me, public defender. And I said, listen, I want to talk to Mr. Beloff. He's like, oh, about what? I said, I don't want to go home. I said, I'm done.
No shit.
And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he said, I actually talked to Colleen, my aunt. Mm-hmm. The night before, I called her on the phone and said, Colleen, listen, I'm going to ask him to go to jail. To go upstate for a 1 to 2. I said, I can't sit in this county. The county has nothing. It's just horrible. It's a holding cell, basically. And I said, listen, I just can't do it anymore. Like going away for 30 days, it's not enough. 20 days, it's not enough time. Like you need enough time, in my opinion, to get away for stuff long enough to clear your mind and clear, at least for me. See, I can't speak for, you know how it is. In these situations, everything is what you need to do for you.
Yeah.
Some people go in, dude, they get it the first time and they're good. Mm-hmm. Some people go in 300 times. For me, that was probably my, I went to rehab at that point probably 3 times, 4 times. I didn't go a ton of times. And I went to detox like once. And that was like my 3rd time in jail. But it was all for the same stuff. Like I didn't keep getting new charges and stuff.
That's what I didn't know. So it was same charges, just missing court
my
dates.
charges were unreal. Like if I had a record and I got them charged, I would have went upstate right away. Like I just got lucky because I never got in trouble. So like the way they do it in Philly is it's a point system. You go like 0 points up to 5, I believe it is.
Okay.
So I had 0. Well, after they charged me, I was up to like a 1.5 or a 2 or something because of what I got.
Right.
And it's a shame because me not knowing and being young and stupid, my whole thing was, I just don't want to go to jail. Well, they give you this offer, 3 years probation. It started out like 11.5 to 23 with 5 years of probation. I was like, absolutely not. I don't want to go to jail. Then they came back with 5 years probation. Then they came back with 3 years probation. And he was like, dude, you're not going to get no better than this. Well, what I didn't know is now I'm going to have felonies on my record though. See, nobody explains any of that stuff to you.
This is, you mean like the public defender?
Nobody explained any of this stuff, right? And this is where I think
and you're running solo. You got no like family to help you out.
No, at that time, everyone kind of wrote me off. Like it was like nobody wanted to help me. You know what I mean? Like, and let's be real here. My parents, they never really helped me anyway. So it's like, you know, if anybody would have helped me, it would have been Colleen or my Uncle Paul or you know, someone along them lines. But that's where the system fails, I think, because you got a young person here that's, you know, what was I, 20? I guess I wasn't super young, but I was 24.
That's fucking young.
25,
dude.
somewhere, or 26. Maybe I was 26, but I was young. And I never got in trouble in my life. Besides like our underage drinking, you know, stupid stuff that we would get, you know, when we were minors.
No felonies, no misdemeanors.
No, like real crimes. It was all just a fine type of thing. So like, and I feel like that's where the system really fails because like you have young people to get, you know, and they get wrapped up in something. They don't even know what they're really.
Signing
yeah, cool. I'm not going to jail. All right, I'll take that. And then you don't realize like, dude, you can never get a job again in somewhere that's actually like reputable.
Right.
Or, you know, not saying you can't go to union or something. I'm saying like a professional career.
It's on, it's on your record.
Like you're not going to go to college when you come home if that's where you want to be. Like someone like you, right? You're 41 years old. You're getting your MBA. If I did that, who's hiring me? We're going to do a background check.
I get you.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of where.
So wait, are you saying like you take the deal and you automatically had the felony?
So
but if you went to jail, you wouldn't?
No. So once you take that deal, whatever is in place, the deal is in place. Oh, you're going to get X amount of time or your probation, whatever that may be. Well, you have charges, and the charges are what you're getting that sentence for.
Right.
So this one was like, a misdemeanor 1, a misdemeanor 2, a felony 1, a felony 2. You know what I mean? And then once you accept all that goes on your record. Forever.
Yeah.
Now, you can get it expunged, and there's ways to do that, but I think you can do it with no money, but it's a lot of paperwork, a very long process. It might take you 3 years, 4 years, something like that. Or you could pay a lawyer to do it.
Okay.
And that will cost some money.
Right.
The reason why I never done it is because, you know, I started my own business, and I'm like, you know, there's really no... Like, let's be real here. Even if I decided to go to work for somebody, I'd probably just go in the union. They wouldn't care.
Yeah, like
so
you're in a spot where your record is not going to hinder you from pretty much anything that you would be able to do to be successful.
Exactly. But anyway, let's get back to so that night I call my aunt and I say, listen, I'm going to ask to go away. She's crying on the phone like, are you sure? I said, listen, what are we doing here? I wasted how much time now? The last year and a half or year, you know, in and out doing rehab, this, that. I lost everything at that time.
Yeah.
I lost... You know, we lived together. I lost, you know, where I lived. I lost my girlfriend at the time. I lost everything and anything that was important to me at that time. I lost. And I didn't know what else to do. Yeah. And so
but at this point, like you're getting high every single day.
Every day. Every chance I get. Yeah. Morning, noon, night, and you know, anything I can possibly do. So I stand up, the lawyer goes, Mr. Beloff, I never had this happen before, but my client here wants to talk to you. So he says, yeah, Joe, you know, what's going on? And he said to me, are you getting high? Are you okay? You could go home today. Like I could have went home that day.
And you knew that?
I knew. They said you could go home. I don't know if it was Mr. Beloff or the lawyer said to me, you could go home. Like literally, like I would have went back and went home that night.
Why not just go to rehab?
Where am I going? Rehab wasn't on the table then at that time. Maybe if I would have asked that, they might have set that up. Right. But then if you do that, it wouldn't happen on the spot. Then you got to go back to county,
fuck around,
sit there for another month probably, wait till they have a bed, get it, you know, and then you're going for another month. And it's like, I already did that. Yeah. And it hasn't worked.
You wanted something right away to get out of this.
Yeah. And it was like, and they were like, you go home tonight. I'm like, where's home? I have nowhere to go.
That's brutal.
I have nowhere to go. And the real truth is,
where's home?
I could have probably reached out to you and said, yeah, and even if I was getting high, you'd probably be like, dude, just sleep on the couch, whatever, I don't care. And I would have just left in the morning when you went to work and came home at night and went to sleep. Like, there's a difference of living with somebody and just crashing on the couch, right?
Yeah.
But I just didn't. I was just in my own world. Like, there was nowhere to go. Before I could have went to 100 different places and slept and got to live there, whatever. Now you have nowhere. There's no door to walk through that you can go. So I'm like, you know what? Mr. Beloff, there's nothing in the county. Can I go upstate for 1 to 2 years? There's programs up there. There's things you can do. I just need to sit down for a little bit and figure this out. I don't know what to do. And he said, you know what, Joe? I understand. He's like, you're not the only person I've seen have this struggle. And he's like, yeah. And they, they did that. And I'm not going to lie, though. There was a little bit of like in the back of my head. I was like, cool, I'm going to do that and not get no probation. So when I come home, I don't have to worry about like probation and stuff. And they still hit me with the 3 years probation after I was done. Because I just, in my mind at that time, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like, when you talk to people about probation, they're like, oh, it sets you up to fail and all this. No, it don't. If you live your life normal, you literally have zero problems.
Yeah, don't be a criminal.
You have zero problems. Like, when I came home, I was in probation. I had probation. And actually, they messed up. The state messed up. I was supposed to be on state parole and county probation the whole time. I was on state probation for 2 years. Mm-hmm. My probation officer says to me one day, Joe, you were supposed to be been reporting to the state parole officer for the last 2 years.
Did you get in trouble?
No, it wasn't my fault. They just never did it.
Right.
So I just had them for the last, I believe it was a year. And then that's when I got my place in Ben Salem.
Yeah, but you glossed over a lot, dude, because you maxed out what you could do in jail. Like you got fit, you just became a better person in jail.
So you want me to get into all them details?
Because that was amazing. That like even when we would talk like after you got out, we saw each other at Chicky and Pete's. I mean, you were like $180, $190 or something like that, or in great shape. I mean, you got all the benefits one could get by being in jail.
Okay, so
right? Would that make sense?
Yeah. So this is exactly what happened in jail. I went to jail. You go here, get whatever, and then you finally get your home jail after a couple months. Mm-hmm. So when I got there, I was in a drug program there, super strict, dude. It was like boot camp. I was like, fuck this. I signed right out of that. They're like, well, you can't go home until you complete this. I said, I'm just going to max it. I don't even care anyway. So, because by the time you when you have a 1 to 2, by the time you get to where your jail is, you only have like 3 more months left. Then you see the parole board. And
really?
then, because you see them like 8 months, like when you have a few months left. Mm. So you're already 5-6 months in by the time, you know what I mean? And then you see them a couple months. Then it's like, so I saw the parole board one time. And they go, you got to complete this. Then they call me in my room, my cell, and said, yo, you got to go to parole. They want to see you. I said, yo, just tell them I'm maxing out. I ain't going down there. They're like, all right. I didn't even go back down. I said, I'm done with this shit. I ain't fucking, because I ain't doing that program. So that is when, once I got out of that program is when I would say my jail or jailing, whatever you want to call it, my bid, whatever you want, started. That's when I started working out. Mm-hmm. I started training pretty hard. I was, when I saw you at Chicky and Pete's, I was 195 pounds.
Jacked.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't as strong as I am now.
Like, but nowhere even close. Different look.
But I was.
Different goals.
Yeah, I was, I will say I wish I could get back to that weight right now. I probably look unbelievable. But I'm trying, dude. I'm just stuck at 210 right now. I'm trying. But no, I started really, I know it's weird to say, dude, I learned how to play chess. I learned stupid things that you would never think is a big deal. I learned how to play pinochle, spades, things that you just do when you're down, but you don't realize how many people actually play that stuff outside, in the real world.
Yeah.
And then I really focused on my training and just what I wanted to do when I got home. Mm-hmm. And I will say I had about 6 months left and I was ready to come home. I honestly knew I wasn't ready to come home.
Those times you said max out.
Yeah, because like I said, by the time you actually get to where you're going, you see the parole officer 2 months later and then you're going home 3-4 months after that. And it's the time goes by so fast. It's you move. Think about it. I was in the county for 30 days, right? Mm. That time gets credited towards your 1 to 2. So then you go to Greatesford. I was only there. I was on the fast track because I only had a 1 to 2. So I was only there for a week. Then you go to Camp Hill. Well, you're at Camp Hill I think I was there for 3-4 weeks. By the time I actually got to my jail, you're already, you know, I don't know, 3 months in, 4 months in. Then you go to see the parole board when you're like 8 months in. So you only have a few months, then you see them, and then you see them again, and then you go home.
Right.
And you're like just getting kind of like dug in, like getting like kind of what you're doing because you're moving around so much.
Right. You kind of look forward to having a place that you know you're going to be at for a little bit.
Yeah, kind of. It was like, as wild as it sounds. It was like Mike Tyson's touched on this. He said it was the most peaceful 3 years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, well, better than 30 million in one fight. He said, dude, money don't mean nothing if you don't have your peace, right?
Yeah.
Like, for me, it was like, it was so crazy for so long. And I actually just sat down and was like, all right, I'm just going to focus on me right now and just try to just make me the best I can for when I leave.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I wanted to do.
Well, dude, that it's funny. I said this to my sister, and you probably heard me say this, like the most resilient and disciplined people, they don't even know that they are. But you in particular, bro, it's like when you make a decision to do something, I don't know anybody that does it better than you. Like with the stopping to getting high, the decision in jail to stay to max out, the decision to lose the weight. Like when you have a goal, like no one can stop you. No one. Well, that's how I look at you. Like I think I'm mentally tough, but like I think you take it to another level, dude. Like you just I don't know, man. Like when you get something in your mind, you're gonna make it happen. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, and you proved it time and time again. What do you think?
I mean, yeah,
you don't even realize because that's just you.
You know what it is? You just go through your daily day.
Yeah.
And you know, it's so weird that you say that because I was actually thinking about this earlier. Like I see, like what I said to you earlier about the stock thing. You make a couple bucks and there's going to be someone comments and they made, you know, $10 million, you know, in one day and you only made 10,000, you're a bum. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So yes, I believe that like this fitness journey I've been on, right?
Well, we should talk about that. Like, what did you weigh when the Eagles won the Super Bowl?
I weighed. So when the Eagles, in January of 2023.
Whatever. Eagles
yeah,
two years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago.
So January 2023, I weighed 288 pounds.
Yeah.
When they won the Super Bowl, I have it in my phone. I was probably like 275. I lost a couple pounds. By June of last year, I weighed 225. June 16th. I have it all on a Bluetooth scale. That's how I know. By my birthday, my 40th, September 8th, I was 208 when we went to Cancun. Then I bulked back up a little bit in the winter on purpose. I didn't like gain a bunch of bad weight. I just was trying to get a little bigger so I could cut back down and look a little better. You know, just put it on my frame. Right now, I'm sitting at like 210 to 11.
210 to 11.
My frame's way better now.
Yeah, you look considerably different than you did for your birthday.
Yeah. Now the goal is to get to 200, and now you said I hit a goal and smash it. Yeah. Dude, I am so stuck there, dude.
I hear you.
Like, and I know what to do to get there. It's just like I feel like I'm mentally exhausted sometimes.
Well, I mean, like we talked about it before, you lost all that weight from the Super Bowl, and like to get back to that, it's fucking that way of life. That's tough, bro.
And you know how it is. The leaner you get, and the less fat you have on your body, the more your metabolism speeds up more. The more you start craving things. And when you're doing it for so long, you just get like, oh man, I'm tired of this shit, man. Yeah. Like I want to go have a fucking pizza, dude. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Eat some French fries. Like I just, you know, and I try really hard. Like last night, for example, it's 10:30 at night. I'm exhausted, tired. We ate dinner at 4:00 yesterday. Well, we had an early dinner because my aunt wanted to go for Brooke's birthday. She just wanted to take her out. So we're like, all right, yeah, we'll go. Starving. I'm about to walk up to Charlie's, the bar, and get wings or something, but I was so tired. I was like, dude, I can't eat that now. So I ate 2 hard-boiled eggs in the refrigerator. You know what I mean? And I went to bed. Like
unsatisfied as fuck.
Unsatisfied as shit. But you know what? I went to bed, I woke up, and I felt better about it in the morning.
Yeah, of course.
I didn't go eat, you know, a bacon cheeseburger and wings. You know what I mean? But so there are the little choices that I have to make sure I make to try to hit my goals. But yeah, it's, you know, just back to the jail thing. It was just, you know, it was for me, it was the best decision I could have ever made in my life.
Yeah.
For me. You know, my life is today what it is because of everything that I went through.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm not saying like, and you can never say where it would have been if you didn't go through, because you don't know.
You don't know. You don't know.
You don't know. You don't know, right? I do have a very good life. I have 2 awesome kids. I have an awesome wife.
Beautiful kids, dude. Belle and Lorenzo are.
I got a dog. A little French bulldog that's great. We love her, and 10 years ago. So I came home. This December 10th will be 11 years. So I'm like 10 and a half years home right now, roughly. I never knew that I would be where I am today. You know what I mean? Like, but I will say this, and this is where, remember earlier on when you said you're a little different than like your typical AA person. Mm-hmm. And I never want to use the word unique because, they always, oh, you're not unique. Like, that's a big thing. You're not unique. You're not unique.
The first thing I think of is like, yes, the fuck I am.
You must not know who the fuck I am, dude.
Yeah, so I said this to Megan. We literally just had breakfast. I'm like, you don't understand. Like, do I think I'm David Goggins or Joe Rogan or Elon Musk? No. But I'm going to do that kind of shit, though. And they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like the only way to do it is obviously sobriety. Like, it's for me, but like
100%.
I think that's in me. And like you think it's in you. Why else would you have stopped fucking around? You know what I mean? Like, why else would you get your life together? To be average? It doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, you got to look at it like this, right?
And I don't say that with no ego. Like, I just feel like it's in me.
So I look at it like this. I used to think, if I would have had money and just held my shit together, I would have kept getting high, right? But why do all the rich, famous people, singers, musicians, actors, why do they stop getting high? Just rich business people.
Pain.
They have millions of dollars. Some of them are billionaires.
Yeah.
Why?
Pain.
Because you're a shell of yourself.
Fucking,
period.
Yeah.
Period. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to do with money. I mean, it would be much cooler. You'd be like, I got a bunch of fucking money. Just call the guy who drives off a barrel of shit, and you're just, you don't even gotta leave the house. But, they still get sober and want to get sober.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
that's the one thing that makes us not unique, right?
Yes.
We all can relate. Rich, broke, whatever, married, not married, like that pain is what ties us together.
That's where I love like Johnny Depp, right? Mm-hmm. He goes to AA meetings, or at least used to, and hang out and like just be a normal dude. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And he had all the money, all the fame, Robert Downey Jr., right? Yeah. He had his situation.
Legal troubles
and all. And guess what? He's a good dude. He just had his stuff that he was doing. And that's where, yes, I agree. Nobody's unique to that part of it. But what I was getting at, where I think I'm a little different and even you are too in this aspect. When I started, I had my shit together. Like, I already had a trade. Mm-hmm. I already had a house. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't own one, but we were on the way. We were on that way to doing those things. I already had like a nice car. I already had like a couple bucks, like not a lot of money, but a couple bucks, in the bank.
You already had some like life was already pushing you in the right direction.
Yeah. I already had like a little foundation, small foundation that was getting set up, and that's why I believe people like you and me and other people that are in that situation, when it happens, you bounce back so much easier.
And I think that's why I relapsed so many fucking times too.
That real. Could be why.
Like I'm not saying we have the same story, but I think that's why I always relapsed, dude. Like, because I always had a beautiful wife, always had a good career. You pull it together.
Like, you never even really hit like a real like rock bottom as far as assets and things.
No, it was just my fucking.
You hit a rock bottom as far as your
soul.
Yeah, like just you. Like, again, you're a shell of you're like, when I'm rich, you're a shell of yourself.
A fucking soulless.
And then you got to be tired of being that person, right?
Yeah.
So, I think that, that's why I am where I am today, because of that. I'm not going to lie. I really do feel bad for the kid that gets hooked on drugs at 14 years old. And they're 30, 35 when they finally come out of it, and they don't know a trade. They don't know how to do anything. They have nothing.
Yeah.
They're literally coming home, and some of them don't even have family members or anything. And they're like lost. And they're the guys or women, when they make it, I'm like, dude, you're the beast.
Yeah.
Because you literally just came from nothing at a point in your life at an age in your life where you're your life's set up if you're going in the right direction. And you're kind of just going to keep showing up, and you're laid out at that point most of the time.
That like, not because she's my sister, but that's my sister, bro. Like, this chick was a full-time dope head. You know what I mean? It almost got thrown. The only thing she had was a high school diploma. You know what I mean? She got it together, and she just did everything you just described. You know what I mean? Worked a shit job, went to school for like 10 years, you know, maybe even like 12. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, I like, even her, like, we're so close, us three. Like, she don't look at it like that. She just put her fucking shit on and it was time to make the right moves.
You know, she just started later.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like,
fucking
but when you
nuts.
see them people do that to me, it's like,
It's amazing.
wow.
It's
Because
amazing.
like, I am a firm believer in you stop developing when you start using drugs. Meaning like, when you see a 15-year-old person that's getting high, your mind don't develop anymore. You stay that 15-year-old person until you get sober.
You see that when you see young buck in the rooms and you know, they're not young anymore, but like they still kind of have that mindset.
Yes. The mannerisms, just the way they act, the whole, you have a conversation with them.
You still think they and I, you know, I'm not saying I'm any different, but like you could see the facade for no reason.
Yeah, I know a couple people like that. I'm not going to name their names, but I can't even have a conversation with them.
Yeah. Because
it's almost like I want to rip my eyeballs out and I feel bad because I feel like I'm talking to a kid. It's like, dude, you're 2 years older than me.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel bad for them people. I really do.
You know, I'm just thinking here. I was thinking earlier, like last week I was having for some reason I have rough days. You know what I mean? Like, and I get beat myself up, dude. I have like rough, sad fucking days. My wife's like, or Megan's like, why don't you start writing a journal? You know what I mean? I'm like, that's hard for me to do. I'm not a journal guy. But I started it, right? And I was writing something and I was thinking like when I had the year and a half sober, I guess it was like 6 years ago. Like right before I got sober that time, I went to rehab, left after 9 days because I was starting school. And then, you know, I relapsed within like a month, right? And how I relapsed, like I got high the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, right? And then Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, I drive to Camden. Like, I mean, now this became a normal thing for me, dude. I got 3 crackheads in my truck. My truck's a year old. I'm at the bank in Camden, right? They try giving me fake shit. And I'm beating the fucking dude up in the front seat with his own school bag. And I have a moment of clarity, like, I gotta get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, I'm the only white guy around. I got 3 black crackheads in my truck. Like, I'm gonna get fucking killed. You know what I mean? Like, it was a bad scene. I drive away, you know the story. The dude throws a brick through my dude throws a brick through my window. I remember thinking, like, in a split second, like, man, that guy's got some great aim. Right? But the only thing he hit was my window, right? So, like, I go to work, and my foreman at the time was a biker. He's in a biker gang. And I already told him to lie. Like, dude, just fucking jerk off from Dunkin' Donuts. We got no fight. Threw a brick through my window. I chased him. He ran away. And the foreman's like, let's go get him. And I'm like, no, he's probably gone. we can't get him. And, you know, I had to get my window fixed and tinted before I saw Megan. We had date night that night.
Oh.
Now, I did all that, get the window fixed because we're addicts and we just had to make shit happen.
Yeah.
Then I get it tinted. And I'm sitting at dinner with her downtown somewhere. Like, and I'm thinking, like, what a scumbag piece of shit. You know what I mean? And that was my last day before rehab, before this one. And I'm thinking, like, you would think that would be enough, bro. You know what I mean? And then I fucking spent 5 more years doing the same shit, dude. You know, it's like, but when you're in it, as you know, it's like, you almost don't want it to stop. I didn't want to stop. You know what I mean? It was way easier to keep being high every day than to not and deal with life, dude. It was like, it just sucked, man. It just sucked. That's why I appreciate this so much right now, dude. It just sucked.
I mean, listen, I've been there. I know. You know, I mean, you know, you were around. You know how many chances I had to not let my life fall apart? How many even after it was like, this is the line. If you cross that line, we're done. And I would cross that line, and it would be a few text messages, this, that. We'd start talking a little bit again, and it'd be like a little bit of light, and then I would just mess up again.
Yeah, I mean, because there was a good few years stretch where like we had no relationship at all, and
well, that was just me.
No, I know, like,
doing.
You know, like I don't think I was a full blown addict yet, so like I couldn't really like empathize with you because I probably thought I was better than you. You know what I mean? Like, well, because when you're not an addict, one of your boys are, you're like, why can't you just stop, motherfucker? Why can't you? And we just disconnected for a long time, but you know. I did come visit you, right? That was cool.
You did come visit me when I was in the county. Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool.
It's so weird you say that. So, Regina, you know, we were, that was when we stopped hanging out for a little bit because I was like being stupid. Like I was young. Oh, I got a girlfriend. I just want to hang out with her all the time. I would never happen today. But, you know, when you're a kid, you know, that's just, I love her so much. I just want to be around her, right? So, you know, I remember saying to her when I was like 21 or 20, whatever it was, because I wasn't even really dabbling in anything yet. As far as like, I was drinking and stuff, but no perks or nothing.
Yeah, you took off quick, I feel like.
Oh, I went 0 to 1,000.
Like, but so, because you were the dude, like, we used to argue, right? Saturday nights.
Oh, yeah, you like, we're going after hours, you ain't going. You like literally want to fight me in the parking lot. I'm like, dude, I'm not going. I worked all week. It's 2:00 in the morning. I'm drunk. I still got to drive home, which I probably shouldn't do right now. And I just want to go home and go to bed,
With your work van.
Yeah, with my work van, because that's, and it's crazy to look back. Like, we were 21 years old. We had work truck. Like, we did stuff right. Yeah. We just went down the wrong road.
Yeah, dude.
At one point. Like, we were on the right path.
We joked around, me, you and our boy, dude. We used to, somehow we got the bright idea to start doing coke on Monday nights.
Oh, that was stupid.
Monday nights. It was like, we made it a thing.
I know.
Like, to do, like, first of all, Monday's the worst day of the week to pick a day to do cocaine. And then we made it a thing, dude.
I remember calling Ed a couple times, like, in the morning, yo, man, I'm not feeling good. I can't make it. Okay. And like looking back, I feel like such a dick because he relied on you. Know what I mean?
He needed you. You're his guy.
He had 20 guys. It was like me, him, and like 2 other guys. Yeah. I ran a truck. He ran a truck when we had, showers. Then when we did store funds, we did them all together. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? And I just was, we were stupid, but,
I wouldn't change a thing, though. No, for me, it took what it took. And you might think differently. For me, it took what it took. I wouldn't change a thing.
So
I have regrets. I do have regrets. I've ruined a lot of relationships. I've hurt a lot of people.
I think I'm in the same boat as far as, we kind of talked about this. There is, 1 or 2 people that I would like to say I'm sorry to.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
It's been so long. Like, I don't even think those people would even care at this point.
Right.
Or maybe they would. Like, you don't know. Maybe it would be enough just for, I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Because, like, sometimes you just treat people shitty and it's not you doing it. It's like, dude, like, and I know this is going to sound crazy. For anybody out there that's watching this that might, or does watch this at some point, and maybe you're the other person, the one not getting high, and there's somebody getting high and you feel like that person's treating you like shit, try your best not to take it personal, because if you think they're treating you bad, how are they treating themselves?
Oh,
they're in their mind, they probably want to blow their brains out. Like, and they might never say that to you, and they might never say to you they don't want to wake up and they want to die and everything. But that is really how, like, looking back, that is how I felt.
Yeah.
I just didn't even know it at the time. That is really, like, I didn't even want to, like, there were times where I just wanted to, like, kill myself, dude, and just be like, I don't want to do this anymore. And a part of it was because the way you were treating other people. And a part of it's the way you're treating yourself. And it's just everything adds up. And it's just like, you're a loser. You're a bum. Why can't you do this? Why can't you just go to work? Like, you know what I mean? And you just start saying all these things. Then you're like, well, I don't want to deal with it, so I'm just going to get high.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you just, when you're high for that hour, 2 hours, whatever it is, you don't think about it.
But the one thing that, the one difference between us is, you met your wife and you were already kind of like out of the weeds. Like, you were already going in the right direction. Like, Megan is the person you're talking about, right? I put this fucking woman, I would yell and scream like, you don't think I fucking want to be sober? And then put no action behind it. You know what I mean? I'd be high while I was saying it and I would get high the next day. You know what I mean? Like, oh my.
Yeah, you were like the grown man that lived in the mom's basement.
You
don't think I want a job?
Yeah,
but
I'm even lying to you. I would lie to you. And like, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the point of that? Like,
you're the grown man that lives in the mom's basement and yells at the mom, you don't think I want a job? It's fucking 2:00. You just woke up, dude. If you want a job, you'd be up at 7 in the morning looking for a job. No, you don't want a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then and unfortunately, it's one of those things, like, with anything in life, you're not going to stop. Like, nobody can make you stop.
No shot.
Nobody. And that's where some of the guilt comes in too, because those people take that on themselves. And it's like, I hope that those people understand one day that it wasn't them. Like the person, whoever that is, whether it's me, you, whoever it is, you got to want to do it because you want to do it.
Yeah.
And whatever that reason may be, that's the reason. You know what I mean? But you have to want to do it. Nobody can make you stop.
Well, I want to share something with you, and I want to, because you're not a feelings and emotions kind of guy. At least, like, that's not how our relationship is for the most part, I think. But I think we always know where we're coming from, but we're not always. We never have bitch fests. You know what I mean? We never cry about shit together. I mean, I think we have an understanding of that. But I was writing some shit down and I was thinking about how painful it was getting sober. And obviously, you and my dad were super tight. Probably you and Trace were even McGinnis were the tightest with my dad out of any friends that I've had. And, him dying was the second worst thing in my entire fucking life, dude. Because if I'm being honest, like trying to get sober and not was worse. And I mean that. Like that's how, like, if you can put the pain in the words, like losing my dad, who I think of as the closest person to me on the planet, closer than any father and son relationship out there, we were closer. That's how I describe him. Losing him wasn't as bad as trying to get sober and not being able to fucking stop. It was brutal. You know what I mean? But how was it with you? Like, you just like hit a red line and said, "This is it. I'm tapped out." Because did you what was it like for you, dude? Because I know you stopped, and I know you had the strong mindset. And once you stopped and made a decision, like you said, you maxed out your time, you weren't ready to leave, and you changed your life. But like, what were like the feelings back then, dude? Like, how did you talk to yourself when no one was around back then?
So, you know how you always say you think I'm very logical?
Yeah.
Like, I'm logical to like a fault. Like,
yeah, it's fucking. Sometimes I'm like, dude, I get it. All right, I get it, dude. I should do this and that.
So maybe that was, maybe that's what it is. I knew. See, that's the thing. I think you had to know deep down. Like, I knew my life was either going to be this, in and out of jail and rehab, or I would die if I didn't stop. Right? I mean, there are only two things that can happen.
Yeah.
Or you max out all your time, or you're on the street again, but then eventually you end up back.
But
in jail,
especially doing what you
die.
were doing, dude. I mean, like you were in it, dude, down the way, in it. Like you didn't really get into that. Like you were fucking in it. Whatever. If someone can just have an idea of what it's like to be homeless at Kensington and Somerset 10, 15 years ago, like that's where you were at.
I mean, it was, like I remember not even realizing that I was in it until I was so deep in it. And I woke up one day and was like,
oh shit.
Like, how did we get here? Like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I'm literally standing on the railroad tracks. Like, how did I get here? Like, what? Like,
I think of stupid shit. Like, where do you fucking take a shit? Like,
wherever you can. You try to get to a bathroom most of the time. Yeah. I mean, literally, that's how bad it is, dude. It is bad. Yeah. And anyone who's been through it will tell you the same thing. It's not like, there's no... Again, what happened with me was I said to myself, what do you want out of life? Yeah. Like, do you want this to be your life? Like, do you want to be in and out of jail, rehab? If you're lucky, right? That they say that's if you're lucky. But in my opinion, when you're that deep into it, you're better off just being dead. Like, honestly, like if you came to me and said, here goes the facts, you're never going to get sober and you're going to be in and out of jail and rehab your whole entire life until you die, I'd rather just be dead then. Yeah. Like, because that's not a life. That is not a life.
Well, I think it's worse for someone like you too, because you had a trade, right? You had a skill. You were good at it. You had cool shit. The Honda S2000 would come to mind, right? Yeah, you had cool shit. You had a beautiful girlfriend. So like, that's what you left. You know what I mean? Like you talked about it earlier with the young kids who like don't have anything. Like, what's harder? Is it harder to get sober never having had anything, or is it harder to get sober when you had everything you could ever want and you fucked it up? Because like that's you, right? And I don't, you know me. I'm not saying that to be hurtful, but like
no. Like, and honestly, I never looked at it in that perspective. I don't know, so I never had it the other way. Yeah. I will say this: when I was away, it was much easier being single than these guys that had kids and girlfriends and wives, and I would see them on the phone like freaking out, crying. Yeah. Like I feel bad for some, like because they would be like. You would hear stories, my wife's cheating on me with my best friend. Yeah. This happened, that you can't be there for your kids. So at least for me, I didn't have kids at the time.
He's worrying about you.
I didn't have to worry about that. Not saying that there weren't days where I would sit there and think and be like, oh my gosh, like I regret this, I regret that, I regret that. I can't believe I did this. Like I can't believe, you know what I mean? Like there were always demons. So don't think it was just like I was in there like, oh yeah, go like this is great. Yeah. No, believe me, I had my demons. Dude, I had my nights where I couldn't sleep, and I had my nights where I woke up having a bad dream, and I thought it was real, and it was never easy. You know what I mean? Like nothing was easy. You just try to make the best of it, right? But it was easier being single with no kids being in there than having a family.
Well, yeah, can understand you saying that because all you have to worry about is you.
Yes.
And like, me with 28 days in rehab, it's like, I knew Megan wasn't going to leave me. So like, that was like a little bit of a peace of mind that I was able to have, but that's only 28 days. That's not a 1 to 2. So it's, I can't obviously relate to that, but like, I can only imagine if my marriage was hanging on by a thread and like, there was infidelity or physical abuse or like, there's a chance I could leave this place and not be with my wife. You know what I mean? That probably would have been a different situation.
Well, I bet your relationship was hanging on more than the sudden you probably think.
Dude, she hated me.
Like more than you probably even know.
She said to me, we went to dinner. We made date night a few weeks after rehab. We wanted to make it a thing. We went to get a steak dinner somewhere in Chestnut Hill. And she looked me in the eye and she said, the only reason why I made date night is because I wasn't sure if I still loved you. And I needed to know for sure. And I was like, what? Like, dude, that like fucking pierced my heart, dude.
It's crazy you're telling me that. So you know that how like me and Brooke kept in contact with Meg when you were away and all, and she would call randomly or we might just text or call her. Yeah, what's going on? We just want to make sure she's okay, dude, because she's going through a lot of stuff. And you asked her out. Well, maybe it was the date night. It could have been that date night. I don't even know. And she called me or I called her just to make sure everything was okay or whatever was going on. And then you might have still been in rehab and like asked her, like, I don't even know if you were home yet. And I actually said to her, Meg, you have to go out with him. And I was like, if you don't go out with him, how are you going to know if you want to be with him?
Oh,
I said, you have to. I said, if you're not willing to go out with him, then you need to end it right now because then that means you don't want to be with him. I said, if he asked you out, I said, you're married. If he asked you out on a date, you have to go on a date with him. And you know what? I think you were home. No, this is when it was. Do you remember when you went through you were going through that whole struggle? And it was right before the epiphany of when it hit you and you were like, oh my God, dude, like I cannot believe the way I've been acting.
My wife, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is before rehab.
Before rehab.
Yeah.
So you went out on the one date and like I think it was like horrible. And you told me about it. She told me about like you weren't even talking to her or something. It was just like
Gonzo, like that's the lowest I've made my wife feel ever. And I didn't get sober for 9 months after that.
So listen, it was the next date. You asked her out again and she wasn't going to go.
Yeah.
And
it's my wife, dude.
I mean, I get it. But you know what though? I said to her, if you're not going to go out with him, then you might as well leave him. Yeah. And I wasn't saying it to be mean to you or anybody.
No, you're her friend too.
It's the facts though. Like if you're not going to go out with him, don't string him along and yourself and just, you know what I mean? Like if you're done, you're done. If you're not, you have to go out with him because you got to ride that wave and hope that there's light at the end of the tunnel. And you're not going to know unless you get there, right? So that was literally the conversation we had. You guys went out, and I think that's like right after that or after that date, that next one is when it all like kind of came to good. You know what I mean? So like, I think that it was like super cool she went out with you that next time. Because, dude, where would you be if you didn't? You don't know, right? You don't know because it's not going to happen. But like, I'm like, if you really love him and you want to try to make things work, I hate to say you have to sacrifice a little bit and you have to go on this date.
It's crazy now. It's like, I know it's 6.5 months and I'm going to stop saying only. It's 6.5 months and we'll still talk and, make future plans and stuff like that. And she'll look at me and say, just please don't leave me. And like, that's crazy. That's how much I hurt her. You know what I mean? Like leaving my wife is something that will never happen. Never. And drugs made me think I wanted a divorce. Made me think that like life would be better without her. You know what I mean? Like we've been together for over 8 years and I was so in it, like in my own version that I told you, I told Traits, I told my sister, like, I just don't think she's the one. You know what I mean? Because like she was just in the way. All the explaining that I had to do every day, all the lying, like she was in the fucking way, dude. And now, even now, like it still hurts her You know what I mean? It still hurts her that I did that. And I've told you before, like, I only have my dad to go off of as an example. Like, the fucking dude was a full-blown junkie when I was in high school. You know what I mean? Stole money off us, dude. Like, I watched the dude detox off the couch, but still was always the man. I'll never not say that. And I asked my wife if she'll let me do what Bruno did for us. You know what I mean? He put 20 years together. I'm not saying let's put 20 years together, like, although that's obviously a goal, but like, let me just do what my dad did one day at a time and get rid of the bad feelings to the memories. You know what I mean? Eventually the memories will never go away, but at least let's try to get rid of the feelings attached to them. Like, it's 6.5 months, dude. I can't ask for the world. You know what I mean? She didn't leave me. She didn't leave me.
Listen, I don't know when the day will come, but there will be a day.
I want her to be confident.
She'll never bring it up again.
I just want her to be confident in us. And some days she is and some days she isn't. And that's okay. That's okay.
That's completely okay. Because, again, one day, it might be a year from now, maybe 6 more months from now, maybe 2. She'll never ask that question again.
Yeah.
She'll just know, okay, this is where we're at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is, I remember, I don't think I ever told anybody this. I remember sitting on Wellington when we all lived there, sitting on the steps. It was like spring out, beautiful day, sitting there. It was sunny out, and I was sitting there by myself. You might have been in the house. I think it was only a weekend day, so I think everybody was like home. I was just sitting out front doing whatever. I don't even know what I was doing. Maybe I was smoking a cigarette. Did I smoke at the time then? I don't even know. I don't remember.
Crack, baby.
And maybe. And thinking to myself, you have nothing.
Which couldn't have been farther from the truth.
Further from the truth.
Yeah.
You have nothing. I had a good job. I had a good girlfriend at the time. I had, good friends, even like her friends that like, Kate and all, like we became good friends.
Yeah, I remember.
They were good people, dude. And I like completely remember sitting there thinking, you have nothing. And dude, it's your mind. Your mind beats you down.
Lies to you.
Lies to you. Beats you down because it wants to keep you where you're at, dude. And yeah.
And that was the beginning of the end.
That was the very beginning.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like, again, I had a million chances to literally just like if I would have said right then and there, listen, I have a problem, guys. I need to go to rehab. Everybody in that house would have been understanding about it and everything would have been cool.
Instantly.
But the one thing I do hate, and I will say this, and I will hate this forever. They're good people. They're not bad people. I will hate this forever though.
Let's hear it.
Because I made them right. And I hate making people right.
Yeah.
Especially when you're betting against me.
Yeah.
And that was the one time in my life that I made somebody.
That motivates me.
Dude, so right. And it's like, damn, I'll never be able to make that right.
What happened?
Basically, Dana's parents thought I was a bum and thought I was a piece of this and that and then, whatever. I just felt like they betted against me from the very beginning and like just thought I was whatever I was. And I just proved them so right, man. And that just burns me up even to this day, man. And like, I gotta never think about it, but like now that we're talking about this stuff, it's like you're thinking about your past, the memories, all, and it's just like, damn, man. Like,
did they like you from the start at all?
I don't really know. I don't really know.
Well, you remember Jackie, right? So I was when I started dating Jackie, I was working like 7-10s, dude. I was at Hospital University of Penn down wherever the fuck it's at. And I finally had off on a Sunday. So we went to dinner with her parents Saturday night. And her mom says to me, dude, like, what have you really been doing? You can't possibly be working this much. And her dad's a union plumber. Something like, this motherfucker, can you have my back, dude? Like, you're a union plumber. You know how it goes, dude. And like, they just, same as you, they just hated me from the start. Dude. But I know yours is a little different, but they hated me from the start. So like,
but here goes the thing. So I had both aspects of that, right? At that time in my life. Now, obviously, I have a whole different life, for me. And then I had Ed, who absolutely loved me, dude. Like, we're still to this day like this.
He was a rider.
Oh, he loved me.
Yeah, he's a rider.
He loved me. Yeah. I mean, he didn't get involved.
And he's a sober dude, right?
Yeah. He didn't get involved in our relationship. If things went south, obviously, he's going to take his daughter. And I'll say he never even took his daughter's side. He would just kind of stay impartial. And
he was objective.
He would just tell me what I needed to hear. And,
That's how Megan's mom is.
Like, not to get into it, it was just like, he was cool.
Yeah.
And he was like, the way you probably should be, but at the time I was a different person.
Yeah.
He knew I was a good guy. He he to this day, dude, I was just with him 2 weekends ago. He was over the house, he was
well,
over the house
he
for
was
hours.
there.
Yeah, dude, like I love him. And you know how they say, like, I'm not even a big believer in this, but everything happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the reason why I met Regina was to meet Ed at this point in my life. Because as much a heartache as I thought I had, like looking back, dude, we were kids. Like it wasn't like
young kids.
The odds of us making
That's the first girl you were in love with.
Oh yeah. So it's like hard to, but like I believe it was to meet Ed and have my relationship that I have with Ed because Ed he's unbelievable, dude. I could call him, talk to him, dude. We laugh nonstop.
Yeah.
I never asked him for nothing, but if I did, he would give me anything he could do. Anything to help me, he would help.
Yeah.
I just don't ever ask for nothing because fortunately, I really don't ever have to ask for any help.
Right.
And then now you have today, where I'm at today. And it's so weird how different it is because besides the Ed thing, only because we were younger, because Ed's my family.
Yeah.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
But and then you get, you meet the person you're gonna be with. And then their family becomes your family.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like a whole different level of relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, then I have Brooke's mom and dad, which I think they like me, but I don't even like I think they like me, but her dad, and she'll tell you her dad's really he just say hi to him. When you see him, say hello and shake his hand. He's like a big old school.
Yeah.
And then I have them, and they're great. They're good grandparents to my kids. They're I will say they believe in me. Ed believes in me. Dana's parents didn't believe me so much, and that just goes to show you, it's like where I was in my life at that time. Like they knew something was up, or maybe they had a feeling, and something was up, and they were right, and that pisses me off to no end.
Yeah.
That I made somebody right betting against me, and it just is what it is.
Like I struggle, like not with that specifically, but like I always think like people are just waiting for me to fail. Especially now I'm putting myself out there and shit, and I have these big plans and visions for myself, and I just think like motherfuckers are just waiting for me to fail. I probably make it up in my head, but it kind of keeps the fire burning. Like I'll fucking show you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a fucking sicko in my head, dude. Like everything is a competition. Everything at work, with the subcontractors, everything at the gym. You don't always win, but I do a lot though in life. You know what I mean? And like, I think like I need to keep things competitive because it keeps me going. You know what I mean? Like, and there's a lot of people in my life. Like one relationship sticks out to me big time. Barrelhead. This motherfucker was my road dog. And I fucking did him so wrong.
Oh.
I did him so wrong. And I still think of it. I texted him a few months ago. I was driving to work and the message came on by Nas. And I sent him a screenshot. And he immediately responded like, yo, he's talking about Alan Yard. He always would say that.
Yeah.
You know the line.
Yeah.
And like things like that stick out to me. Like, even before you were an addict, like you fucking hurt people because you're a selfish motherfucker. And I can't shake that. I think like somebody shared last night, you can't say you're humble. You just got to show it, right? Like I can't say I'm a good person. It just reminds me, The Equalizer 3. You ever see it with Denzel?
Dude, I saw 1 and 2. I want to watch 3 so bad.
So there's a scene in 3, Denzel gets shot.
Don't tell me. I don't want to hear the movie.
It's not like a,
okay.
Well, he gets shot and like Denzel never gets shot.
Yeah.
And he gets like rescued by an Italian cop and an Italian doctor. And a doctor says to Denzel, when he finally comes out of like this little coma, he's like, are you a good man? And Denzel says something along the lines like, I'm still trying to figure that out. And then the doctor's like, well, then you probably are. Right? Because like, I can't tell you, my best friend on the planet, like, I'm a good dude. I'm humble. I'm grateful. Like, I don't even fucking know, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I just try to do the best I can. You know what I mean? Not be a scumbag. But I always feel like I am a scumbag. I always feel like that I know I'm a scumbag. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. I can't shake it. I don't know if that's like just because of early in sobriety this time and all the times I fucked up and all the lies that I told to get to this point in my life. I don't fucking know, dude. But like I struggle with that big time, bro. Like my boy calls it the imposter syndrome. Like I have that to a T. For real, dude. Like even at work, dude. Like I just finished a job. We got the CO last month. We got substantial completion yesterday. everything on paper shows that I know what the fuck's going on. But if you ask me, like, nah, I'm a fucking idiot. I got lucky. Like, what's up with that, dude? Like, I'm asking you personally, like, what the fuck is that about, dude?
Obviously, I don't run big jobs like you do.
But you run a business.
I fix appliances,
yeah,
right?
but you run a successful business.
And I'm not going to lie to you. Well, it all depends on what you think is successful.
Well, you said your words. You're as successful as you want to be today with your business.
Yes.
With your business,
Yes.
if you wanted to get bigger and grow, that takes on a whole other element to your business.
I could,
but you're where you want to be at right now.
So I basically run my business right now. I'm at the point I don't make a ton of money. I do it.
Hear that, tax man?
No, I do it, and this is the truth. I do it for my retirement.
Yeah, we always talk about that.
At this point in my life, because I'm very lucky. My wife's the breadwinner when it comes to that. Touching on her, like I got so lucky.
Oh, she's
like,
the best,
dude. I don't even know how.
Well, she understands you.
She does understand me, and you know what? You know what I love about her? She never judges me.
Yeah.
Like she don't care.
Even when you're at a restaurant and you have an empty beer can and you're raising it up like above your head saying, yo, cuz, what the fuck? Like, she's just like, oh, that's Joe.
Now, I will say that our first date, I asked the waiter or waitress, I said, yeah, what do you recommend? They left. She almost fell out of her chair. She's like, I can't believe you said that.
Why?
I said, it's their fucking job. What do you mean?
I always ask that.
But I might not have said it like that because it was our first date. I was like, what do you mean it's their job? Like, they work here. You recommend it. She couldn't believe it. Now, dude, I could ask what, and she's just like, oh, here we go. Like but like, I lucked out with her. We are very different. Obviously, I mean, we are so different. I mean, I have tattoos all over. She has none. She, I think of things one way and certain things she thinks of another way. But she don't judge me.
No.
And that is like super big. And you know what she does? And this is what a good partner is supposed to do. She supports me.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what she does. That is like makes her, she believes in me.
Yeah.
Like if I tell her, I mean, you see the house we have right now. Let's buy the worst, crappiest house. Looks like it's about to fall down. 2 of them. Mm-hmm. And they're telling us, the people we're buying it from, oh, you can't do an addition. You can't build here. You can't do nothing. And I'm telling her, we will figure it out. I promise you something. We just got to prove for everything.
Yeah.
So like, and she didn't want to do it, but she trusted enough. And she trusts me enough to where she's like, whatever you want to do. And I believe,
because she knows that you'll get it done.
And I believe, even though she doesn't love it right now, I believe when it's all done, she is going to say, this is the best move we could have made.
Yeah.
I really believe that.
Well, it's going to be.
I mean, I hope so. But, and that's, and that's why I think I am where I am. Because, you have to have a good support, man.
Yeah.
And she supports me. And, that to me means the world.
Yeah. No, it's just, it's exactly how it is with my wife, dude.
Yeah. Like, I don't have to
so
worry.
Lucky.
Like, I never had to worry about her.
Mm.
I don't have to worry about her cheating on me. I don't have to worry about her wanting to go out with her friends and, not coming home till 5 a.m. and doing all, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care. Hey, go out, have drinks, come home drunk. I don't care. But like, I don't have to worry about any of that weird stuff that you shouldn't have to worry about, in my opinion.
Dude, how about when Megan and I first started dating? Like, she was still in her partying days. And remember what you said to me? Like, something along the lines like, eventually when you guys fall in love, like, that's just going to stop. And like, it didn't stop right away, but it did. You know what I mean? I would always say like, you trust your wife 100%, right?
100%.
So like, I always joke, like my dad could have called me and said, yo, bro, I saw Meg with another dude. I'm like, yeah, nah. You got video proof? Then it didn't happen. Like, that's how much I trust my wife. You know what I mean? That's, I
feel the same way.
It's an impossible thing.
I think when it comes to stuff like that, you're either that kind of person or you're not.
Yeah, I think it says a lot about us as people. Like, I can't, even if like I can't say for sure what she does behind when I'm not around, but like, I think I'm confident enough to like, I couldn't live a life thinking my wife was running around on me.
Never. I would be, no way. No way.
No, because I've been in a relationship like that. Back in the day, like I've been in a relationship like that where like, man, like I know she was out like for a while. Like, what the fuck was she doing, dude? Like, why wasn't she answering the phone, dude?
No, I have too. And I don't want to say nothing bad about her because we're cool. Water under the bridge. Like, there's nothing. We were kids. But I was in one of them relationships, and I was so blinded. Just like, you know what it is? I didn't have confidence in myself.
That's what it is.
And because of that, I dealt with all the BS. And the truth is, if something like that was to go down today,
see you later.
I'd be like, doors open.
Yeah, we gotta go.
It's time for you to roll.
Yeah.
But again, we were young. We were, it was what it was. But yes, I remember having a lot of them bad feelings, like, oh, and then you can't trust somebody, and that's just not a way to live.
No way.
It's not a way to live.
No way.
It's just not.
No. We kind of touched on it a little bit, like, like my support system was always my dad and my sister, and obviously my wife. But before my wife came around, it was my dad and my sister. And my mom and I were working things out, and that's just a process. I love my mom to death, and it's just a geographical thing, right? She lives in Arizona, and I think like that kind of distance just creates a little space and a gap in a relationship. But like it's like hard for me to say, like, you never had a real close relationship with your parents.
No.
No, and like even when I say to you, like, your dad's the fucking man, and you're like, that's easy for you to say. He's not your dad.
Well, no. What did I say to you? I said I understand it from him not being your dad, because he is the man. Like, you want to hang out, you want to have drinks, but like, he's the man, right? But he's not. He's a horrible dad. I mean, he really is, and It just is what it is at this point, and so is my mom. I mean, I will give it to my mom. At least she tried a little bit when I was like away and all. Like, she would give me a couple bucks here and there. Like when I was local, she would visit me here and there. But like, other than that, man, like, they just are just messed up. I guess I don't know what they are. Well, I really don't. And this is where I was okay with sweeping it all under the rug. Just be good grandparents now. You have a second chance?
Yeah, they don't even do that.
They suck.
They don't even do that.
They suck, dude. They don't even see their grandkids ever. They don't do nothing. Like, I'll say at least my mom, she'll show up at like all the parties, but it's like, in my opinion, you shouldn't even be invited to the parties. Because why do you get to only come to all the, like, you don't see them except for when you're invited to a party.
Yeah.
Like, why do you get to, you know what I mean? To make it look like you're like this good grand. Oh my, I'm here to see my grandkids. Is this
starting to affect you more as a parent than before you had kids? Because there was no difference in your relationship with them.
So, Dana White, I just saw a clip of him yesterday, and he said it, and it hit me right in the head. I was like, dude, I feel the same way. He didn't realize how bad his parents were until he had his own kids. And after he had his own kids, and he realized that it made his relationship worse with his parents.
That makes sense.
And that's where I'm at.
That makes sense.
That's 100% where I'm at. I didn't realize how, like, I knew it wasn't the best.
Mm-hmm.
You start seeing other people's parents, and you're like, oh man, you kind of suck. Like, you won't even pick me up. You won't let me borrow your car. You won't do this. Yeah. Like, you don't do anything for me, really.
They're not there for you.
I'm not going to say my dad never, tried to help me out with anything, but it wasn't in the magnitude you would do for your kids. You know what I mean?
Did they have like a tough upbringings with their parents? Like
my grandfather left, and then my grandmom, she was always sick.
This is your dad's parents?
Yes. But like, you look at like my Uncle Paul, right? Best dad on the planet.
Yeah, the fucking man.
And then you look at him, it's like, obviously he's messed up. He has whatever my grandfather had to some degree.
Yeah.
And then like, my mom's parents, I mean, they all lived in the same house, and like, I don't know. I just know that, to me, if you ask me to explain it, my mom is very self-centered, wants whatever she wants, Like, if you're in a jam, I'm going out with my friends.
Mm.
Like, my brother called her and said, yo, Mom, I'm in a jam. Can you watch Lucas for 1 hour? I'll be home from work in an hour. No, I'm going out with my friends. Like, to me, the way I explain that is, you don't know how to be a good you don't know how to be a family member.
Yeah.
Like, you're
that's as simple as take one for the fucking team, dude.
1 hour. I'm not saying cancel your plans for like just 1 hour. You can't meet your friends an hour from now.
And Dave seems like the nicest dude on the block, bro. So like, you can't help Dave
And then she'll call him and be like, yo, can you do my breaks? And he'll be like, yeah. I'm like, dude, no, don't do our breaks.
Yeah.
And I'm not even trying to trash them or talk a bunch of shit on them. It just is what it is. And at this point, it's like, I don't really have anything for them, man.
Yeah.
I really don't.
You know what that reminds me of? I was just thinking of something the other day. Like, there's no point in worrying about the fucking shit that sucks in the world, whether it's your parents or whatever, the fucking politics of the world, or not. Like, what's the point of worrying about the shit you can't control? It does nothing but a disservice to you. Like, I can't change a fucking thing, except for like the things that I could control. So like that's one thing I've gotten really good at with this, this time around with sobriety is like, can't worry about it. Can't even think about it. Can't even let it affect me. Like, what's the fucking point? You know what I mean, dude?
Yeah.
Why would you let the outside world affect you? If I got fired tomorrow, that would suck. I would get a job the next day working with my tools until I got another superintendent job. Like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I know it's easy to say until something bad happens. I'm not naive to that, but like, I can't worry about it. What's the point of that?
No.
What's the point of that? We had dinner like a month or so ago, Megan and I, and I'm like, my job was coming to an end, and the next job that I'm supposed to go to starts in July. And I'm like, damn, I don't know if they're going to pay me what they're paying me to sit in the office for 2 months. She's like, you think you're going to get laid off? I'm like, I don't fucking know. And she started to panic. And I'm like, gives a fuck. I'll go work tomorrow as a carpenter. Like, there's no, I can't worry about that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like that.
I mean,
what's the point?
It is what it is. There's one thing I will say, at least I've been lucky about this go around, everything always seems to work out.
Yeah.
And it might not always work out exactly the day you wanted to or exactly how you wanted it to, but it always works out to some degree. I was very, like, when I first came home and all, like, I wanted to build like an empire, do all this crazy shit and like make all this money and, this whole thing. And now, like I said, I literally pretty much go to work for my retirement, put a couple bucks in my pocket. My wife's the breadwinner, so, she does decent. But like, I have more than people I know that make a lot more than I do because it's all about where you put it.
Mm-hmm.
And us, we live our life. We're not over here like, making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, not doing nothing. Yeah. Like, we do whatever we want to do, pretty much what we want to do, but it's all about how you do it, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to be over the top about everything. You just go have fun and enjoy yourself. But to me,
well, I think it's self-control that you have.
Yeah,
Discipline and self-control.
Like, I want to enjoy my life.
Yeah.
And my goal is to be retired at 55 years old. That is my goal.
Mm-hmm.
And not be retired like, oh, I can't do anything because I'm on a fixed income. Like, I want to be retired and be able to do, within
whatever you
reason,
want. Yeah.
what we want to do.
Yeah.
And that is where I am heading because, dude, again, life can be short. You know what I mean? And I just, that's where I want to be in my life.
Yeah.
I don't want to be, like, I have no desire to work 6 days a week anymore, 7 days a week. And, oh, cool, you could go make $300,000 a year and do all this stuff. Like, for me, maybe if it was a different field, maybe I'd feel that way. But right. I just, for my job and what I do.
Well, like, like you and Brooke's life is set up in a way where you keep moving forward. It's not like you're not stuck. So it's not like whatever you're doing right now with the business and with Brooke's career, like you're not stuck. You still keep going forward, incrementally, like you just keep going in the right direction. I think that's probably half the battle. Like if you were stuck, you'd have a different mindset for sure.
Oh, I'm sure. Don't get it wrong. If my back was against the wall, dude, and I had to be like, okay, now it's time to grind it out, I could do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to, but I will if I have to.
Right.
I'll do whatever it takes. I guess the thing is I just saw this today. It was so weird. Try to be 1% better every week.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You don't have to light the world on fire, dude, and like come out like, oh my, I made $1 million last week. Like, dude, just try to be 1% better every week.
Yeah.
And if you do that, even 0.5%, right? If you do that, then you're never going to be standing still.
You're still going in a positive direction.
You're still going in a positive direction. You don't have to go 50% better every
That's
week.
fucking unrealistic.
Yeah, it is unrealistic. And you know what? Like I was telling you earlier, once you start getting more traction with the podcast and all, dude, you're going to see some people's comments and see some things people say, and you're just going to be like, what, dude? Like, you can literally buy a Lamborghini Huracan, and someone will be like, you should have got the Aventador, it's $450,000. Dude, you drive a 1992 Cavalier, dude. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And even if I went and bought a 2024 Kia and said, hey, it's my first new car, just be happy for the person.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the best of the best of the best. And if it is, it's like, oh, you should have got a Bugatti.
Yeah.
Because that's $1 million. It's like, people are going to judge you no matter what you do. People are always going to have something to say. Like, just do you.
People judge. People judge. Everybody. You, me, everybody judges, right? But I think the difference with people like you and I is, like, let's just make a disclaimer. Like, everybody judges. We know that. If you say you don't, you're a liar, in my opinion. But the people that judge and then talk to other people about the judgments of another person or post your judgments online, that's the fucking scumbag. That's the scumbag. You know, I think it's human nature to be in a situation, have an opinion about it, which can be considered a judgment. You know what I mean? But you'll never know because I'm nice to you, and I'm, you know, I just think that's human nature, dude. Do you agree? Like, it's like, you know, I don't walk around thinking that I'm better than anybody or like things like that. But, you know, we do have judgments, you know what I mean? But like, don't be a dick. You know what I mean? I don't post on social media. I don't talk shit behind people's back unless like we're having like a funny conversation. Like, just try to be a good person, dude. Like, and you're right. Like, I haven't experienced that yet, and I could see it being like hurtful, reading something hurtful, like, you piece of shit. Like, so maybe someone from my past, like, seeing that we're doing this, and like, you fucking scumbag. I know the real you. Well, my wife knows the real me too, and we got through it, and that's all I give a fuck about.
Well, you'll have people like just, you know, example, like something stupid. Like oh yeah, I'm in good shape, you know, I'm doing this, and someone will comment, but like, literally, dude will be 400 pounds, or chick can't even jog down the block. You're not in shape. Rich Froning's in shape. You're like, dude, like, are you serious, dude? You're talking about the best in the world, and then like you see it all the time, even with like professional sports. It'll be the ranked number 2 UFC fighter in the lightweight division, and he'll lose one fight, and he's a bum. Yeah. He's a bum. Dude, that dude is literally like the 2nd or 3rd best fighter on the planet.
Dude,
he is not a bum.
You know, once Brady got into the UFC, like, you know, you see his clips online and people would talk shit, like, you know, about maybe his fighting style, whatever. I'm like, this dude would rip you and your whole family apart in an instant. Like, it's so easy for people to do that. Like, the dude's been training his whole entire life. Like, all right, he had a tough fight against Bilal. Like, okay, whatever, dude. But like, and people will still talk shit while they're not even working out, while they're in their fucking parents' basement. Like, I would have did this. Like, what the fuck?
No, you want not. No, you want not. Because they are trained fighters. And that's what they do every day for a living. We are not.
Yeah.
When you get punched in the face, you're not going to think in a split second, okay, I'm going to hit him on the left or right. I'm going to pick him up, do that. No, dude, you're going to do what everyone else does. And you're probably going to try to tackle them or whatever you do. And you're going to be out of breath in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? Like, you'll see. As time goes on, once you start to get traction, you're going to have people that love you. And there's going to just be some haters that like just say things, you know, that, and you just got to brush it off. But that's just life, dude. Like,
well, I think that's, you and I are very similar. Like, you feel good about who you are as a person. Like, you know, if you heard someone close to you talking trash about you, that would make you feel some type of way, obviously. But when you feel like you're a good person and you're doing everything you can to better your life and your family's life, like, I feel like it's easier to let those things roll off you. Like, if I wasn't sober and I was doing this podcast and it wasn't about the day before rehab and people were talking shit, well, yeah, every single infraction, I would be like, oh my God, dude, you hear what you said? You know what I mean? Now you're sober or you're being a good person. Like, you know, I'm hoping I can let it roll off a little easier. I don't do well with criticism, though. I'm being honest.
It's like I said to you before, right? Like, and I'm not even saying this like with a big head or anything like that. If I wanted to be a millionaire, I know I could be. And I'm not saying it to be funny, and I'm not saying it to be like...
I know you could, so...
I don't have the drive to want to do it. And that's
where... Well, I think it's probably take away from some of the things you have going on.
Exactly. And I wish I had this mindset and I would have did things right from 20 years old on, right? Because a lot of guys that are smart like that, they'll work their butts off from, you know, 20 or 18 to our age now, and then they make it all then, and then they're chilling, right? Coasting. A lot of them guys. Yeah. I'm 40. I have a family. I have 2 young kids. I know the blueprint on how to make some money, buy some rentals, do this. You know, I have a couple bucks that I could do some things, pull some money out. You know, and you just keep going down the line, right? You can do all that. It's just, do you want to put the work in and put the effort in? And I'm going to be honest with you. I do not. I'm at a point in my life right now. No, I don't. Right. I don't want tenants. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that stuff. Now, we know people that do that stuff, and guess what? They're millionaires. It's that, like, I don't know if everybody in the world is capable of being that successful. But, you know, I will say people look at people like these billionaires that are like these real estate moguls and all this stuff. It's like, dude, do I think I could be like that? Probably not. No. Right. Do I think I could flip some homes, buy a few rentals, do this and all of a sudden? Oh, yeah, you're worth a couple $1 million. Absolutely. I just don't have it in me.
Well, like,
to want to do it.
so what's the definition of success for you? Because I struggle with that myself. Like, what is success for you?
The definition of success for me is to do as least possible, but get the most out of it.
Okay.
Meaning,
You've thought about this?
oh, a million times. Meaning, if you got to work 7 days a week for you to be successful, as far as money goes, to me, that's not successful, dude. You don't have a life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To me, successful is finding the balance of you being happy where you're at financially and still having a great life over here, making memories and doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, you know, and you got, this is where you have to be, I guess you could say, somewhat disciplined. Don't be one of them people that spend every dollar you have, like, I could die tomorrow. And it's like, okay, well, what happens if you live to 92? Like, now, you know what I mean? Like, so, and this is where you had to find that balance of, okay, I'm okay on this end and I'm okay on this end. And I just want to be able to live a happy, good life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've been learning over the last like 5 years, like where I want to be. What do we have to do? What, you know, and we're about to make some moves now. Hopefully sell our other house, move down here full time. Once this house is done, cut my bills literally about $4,500 a month will be done. You know, we'll free up cash flow to where I can put more money in my retirement. And by 55, I'm retired. So to me, the definition of success is to, if you can, retire with making more money than you made when you worked. Or maybe not even making, just having. Because, right, you're not going to have as many bills. That's the whole point behind it, right? You don't have mortgages. You don't have this. Maybe you got to pay taxes, whatever. But being able to do it at an age where you can enjoy your life.
Right.
You know, not doing it like at 72 years old. Like, but them guys are wired. Like, them people you see, I feel like they're wired different. Like, they just never stop working, dude.
Yeah,
you're looking at them, you're like, dude, you're worth $10 million. Like, why don't you just go on a trip to the Bahamas for a month?
Yeah.
They can't do it.
They can't.
I am the complete opposite. Like, people are like, what are you going to do, man, retiring at 55? I said, what do you mean what am I going to do? I'm going to wake up, I'm going to brush my teeth, wash my face, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to work out for 2 hours. You know, you're going to have your little crew there and shit. You might even be there for 2.5 hours something because then you don't really got much to do.
Yeah.
I'll be home by lunchtime, take a shower, eat lunch. Depending on what time of year it is, maybe hop on the boat, go do this, whatever. Like, you will find things to do.
I'll never have that problem either.
You know what I mean? Like, you'll find things to do. I'll take up golf. I'll take up, maybe I'll start fishing a little bit. Whatever. Like, I have no problem not working. Like, I don't wake up in the morning like, man, I can't wait to go fix this refrigerator, dude. It's going to really fill my day up. Like, regardless of what it is. Like, that's just, to me, that is success. Like, some people rate your success, being successful, how much you're worth.
Yeah.
To me, that's, it don't matter how much you're worth. It matters, what are you doing on a day-to-day basis? And are you around the people you want to be around? And are you around the people you love? And are you happy with your life?
Mm-hmm. And
you also got to set yourself up for the long term.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to find that balance. To me, that's being successful.
See, I struggle, man. I'm not sure what success looks like for me. Like, I will say this, and this might come off, I don't know how it's going to come off, but it's like my reality. You know what I mean? Like, if I retired as a superintendent, I would look at my life as a failure. I really would. And although that's a goal for probably a lot of carpenters in the union, that's just not where I want to end up. And so that in my mind wouldn't be a success, right? Like, getting my MBA next year, being able to, like, I just started creating, like, this is like a tough one for me, right? I just started creating my own leadership development program, right? I got 2 presentations. There's a girl in one of my classes. I send her the presentations through PowerPoint. She cleans it up for me. And now I have 2. My goal is, like, let's get the year sober before we talk to anybody about trying to be able to present these. Like, for me, the year sober at least gives me a little bit of validation. So, you know, you get the MBA, you know, you get the year sober, maybe you have like a handful of presentations about leadership development from how I see it. And if I can get to that point, and this sounds crazy to even say, but to be in a room with people and talk about leadership development based on my personal experience, my education, professional experience, my sobriety, in whatever way I think would be well received, that would be success. You know what I mean? Obviously, having my daughter love me, being a good husband, you know, brother and uncle, those things all to me are under the umbrella of sobriety that are going to come naturally with staying on the right track. But like career success, I struggle back and forth, man, because like it's tough. I've been in construction since I was 19. You know what I mean? Like other than the handful of years I left to get my degree, you know, to think that I could stand in a room one day and like share my experience on how to be a better leader. Part of me thinks like, who the fuck's going to want to listen to you? And then part of me thinks like, why wouldn't they want to listen to me? Right? You just like, I don't know. It's a struggle because it sounds crazy even when I say it out loud. You know what I mean? It sounds crazy, but like, you know, let me backtrack a little bit. I was talking to, we had a lady at our job that did a culture review. She's what we call an organization development person. She did a culture review and I didn't like it, but I'm like, let me get her email and just talk to her and like see what that world looks like. We had such a great conversation. She referred me to one of her friends. We had another great conversation and she told me about this ICF. I think it's like International Coaching Federation. I looked up the program, set up an online meeting with a guy, and I'm like, this is the opposite of what I want to do. Like a templated program on how to work in leadership development or leadership coaching. I'm like, that's not me. This has got to be authentic from my life, dude. Like my personal experiences and like, that just seems so fucking crazy, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? It sounds crazy just saying it.
So, you know, so it sounds to me like your view of success as far as
part of it is controlling my own destiny. That's a big part of it.
But like, I didn't even hear money come into play. It's almost like a title. Well, like you want to be this title. And if you don't reach that, it'd be like this. Like there's all different levels to nursing, right? You're an LPN, an RN, a nurse practitioner. I don't even know if there's anything after that besides a doc. You know, you might move up to a doctor. So like, say if you're an RN and your goal is you want to be a nurse practitioner, even though you had a great career and made good money, if you don't become that practitioner because you don't have that title, you feel like you failed. You didn't hit the goal you wanted to hit. So like, I mean, if that's your outlook, that's your outlook. So if that's your goal and that's something you have to do, then you have to figure out a way to do that to make yourself happy.
Well, here's the thing. Like you said about the money, right? I'm not financially motivated, although we all know money makes things easier. That's a fact. There's a part of me, a big part of me that thinks that if I can share my experience with people, not necessarily in an AA room, but like in a professional setting, I think I can make them better or help them get better or help them see the ways in which to get better. And like that to me is fucking success, man. That's amazing, dude. Like, so like is that a title? Am I putting that title as success or failure? I don't know. But like to be able to help people be better at their lives or whatever it is they do, like that to me is like that's what's got the fire inside me going right now.
So you can be a psychiatrist.
Well,
because if you help them get better and you make them see a different view, I mean, that's another. I mean, it's just another avenue of something like that.
Yeah,
right? There's so many different jobs you can get or do that would, you know, help people's lives and help them be better. It's just what field do you want to go into, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we could open up a rehab.
Yeah,
make a killing as far as money goes, and you could help all kinds of people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So there's like so many different fields that you can help people's lives. I don't know, man. I think success is, like I said, it's what you got to find out what makes you happy. Being, like you said, a good family member, a good brother, a good whatever it is, and you have to be happy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And if you're chasing a dollar and you're not happy, to me that's not success. And if you work every day of your life for 1,000,000 years and you die with $100 million in the bank and you never did nothing, that's not success.
No, it's not.
Like you literally did what like 2% of the world could do, and you didn't even enjoy it.
Yeah,
like that's not success.
Yeah,
you know.
I heard David Goggins' clip the other day. Somebody's like, "Are you happy?" He's like, "I don't fucking know." You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm fucking happy, dude. It's like you don't think about it, and like I believe him. I believe, like I don't know, dude. Like I know I'm excited to get things done on a daily basis. You know what I mean? I do the 10-step most nights. You know what I mean? Like I'll break it down like, you know, today's achievements, lessons learned, resentments, apologies, you know the deal, goals for tomorrow, and a gratitude. And sometimes Megan and I say it together, sometimes I say it to myself. And, you know, a lot of times it's the same shit over and over again. I just did the same shit I did the day before. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know. And then part of me thinks like, I don't have to know right now. It's not like I'm not doing nothing, right? I'm working on the degree. I'm trying to do things on the side, like that I think might benefit my life down the road. And I I don't have all the fucking answers. You know what I mean? Like, does anybody, if you asked anybody what success is, 100 people would have 100 different answers. You know what I mean? One of the biggest things I'll say is being sober gives me the touch of peace of mind that I always fucking wanted. And I do have that. I do have peace of mind. And that's one thing I didn't have for, 10, 12, 15 years, dude. You know what I mean? So like, that's success. That's the start of success. Peace of fucking mind, dude. Not waking, dude. You know how it is. You go to bed every night, every fucking night. Like I'm not getting high tomorrow. No fucking shot. No
every
shot.
night, every night,
every night,
every night.
And as soon as your eyes open, you're like, yeah, I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. I'm stopping tomorrow. Stopping tomorrow. I stopped tomorrow 150 days straight.
Everything you do for a decade, dude.
But no, I mean, I don't know, man. The only thing I can tell you is just try to be as happy as you can, man. You're not going to be happy every day. You're not going to feel good every day. You're not going to wake up every day. Like, I don't even care. Like, you see all these big rich people that, are all inspirational speakers and all. There's no way you're going to tell me that if you talk to them, they would say, "Oh, I'm great every day."
No fucking shot.
No shot.
Not if they're
and
being real.
if they're being honest with you, they're going to tell you the same thing, dude. I will tell you this: if I had their money, I would never do motherfucking another thing again. I look at them kind of people, and I'm like, dude, they must really enjoy what they do.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's nothing on this planet that I'm passionate enough about to where if I hit a certain number, I'm done.
Right.
I'd be done. I would not do any. Yeah, you're gonna do this motivational speaking with me? Nah, I'm cool. I'm done. I want no obligations in my life. Like that to me is success.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You wake up, your bills are paid, everything's good, dude. You kind of do what you want, and you don't have to be anywhere.
Well, like I overthink everything. You know what I mean? Even like the whole like leadership development thing. I love the journey, and then like part of me thinks like, why? Why do you want to do this? Like, do you want to be the guy that everyone's coming to see, or do you want to help people? Like, do you know? I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I think I want to be the guy that helps people. Sometimes I think I want to be the guy that everyone's coming to see. That's different. You know what I mean? I don't know, and I think that's okay.
I do. I mean, listen. I don't know if you're looking for. You're never going to find the answer exactly what you want right now today, and that's fine. And you might never find exactly what you're looking for, and that's fine also. Because even if you never change the position ever again in your life and you just stayed doing what you were doing, you're going to be fine. Either way, you're going to be fine. Financially, you'll be fine. You have a great... Dude, I mean, you go from a first-year apprentice to a superintendent. That's a lot of levels you went up to. That's major. That is major.
Did Megan ever tell you about the whiteboard?
What? No.
So after... when I had the year and a half sober, like within like a month, I bought a whiteboard and I said, I'm going to be a superintendent in a year. Like I wasn't even a fucking foreman. she never said this to me at the time, but she thought it was crazy. She's like, I thought maybe you could be a superintendent like 10 years. But like within 6 months, I was fucking assistant superintendent. Like, and that's like sobriety. Like shit just happens to you.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, maybe bring that up, but like,
I don't know. No, and dude, what do they say? Like if you, manifest it or whatever it is, you write it down, you talk about it enough, like it will happen.
Well, it's funny you say that because I was listening to Rogan yesterday and he's like, yeah, I never fucking manifested a fucking thing in my life, dude. He's like, I did the podcast with my buddies on the couch. We would get high. I didn't know it was going to be this thing. I didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like I can relate to some part of that. Like this is not a money venture. This is fun for me. This is a hobby. Like I just like to do it. Like this has no bearing on my financial status at all. And like whatever, I don't think about it. Like I like being able to talk to people like this. You know what I mean? Because it's interesting, dude. Not everyone that's going to listen to this is going to know your story. Like from going from abandoned buildings to the guy you are now. And it's like. But like the things that like the part of me thinks like what I strive for the most, like I can't tell if it's authentic or not. I don't know sometimes. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm really like
so,
I don't fucking know, dude.
So the reality of it is, and this is the real reality, we don't know. 10 years from now, dude, you could be sitting in a house on the bay in Margate with a whole podcast room making $800,000 a year. Like, dude, I can't believe my podcast blew up because I can't believe all,
Yeah.
And I'm literally loaded and I don't do any leadership. I don't even work. This is my job. You know what I mean? Like, so you don't know where you're going to go with things until you get there, right?
Right. I even thought like, all right, like superintendent, construction manager, MBA, like maybe I'll work for a company and do that. I don't fucking know, dude.
In my opinion, if it was me from the outsider looking in, in my opinion, you're so developed over here on this end with your job and everything else in your business if I were you, I would try to focus more on what we touched on in the beginning. I would try to focus more on enjoying your time with your friends, your family, doing things more, not isolating yourself, being more, to me, you'll get more out of life doing that than worrying about all this other stuff. Because I think all this other stuff for you would come so easy, it's just going to come. Right? It's like in the beginning of the year, I said, and I didn't even start doing it until really like probably like March. I was like, you know what? This year in the gym, I'm going to try to do something different. Instead of working on all this stuff, which I mean, I still do it, that it's already developed. It looks good. I'm good at. I'm going to start working out. I'm going to start training harder on the things I'm not good at. Like my arms aren't that great. I'm going to start killing my arms, dude, twice a week instead of just doing a couple sets once a week. I'm going to start doing all this shit that I hate to do. Squatting, right? Even though I did them, I'm going to start doing 100 weighted squats or more from lightweight up to heavyweight down. I don't care if I can barely walk out of the building. Man. I'm going to start developing the parts of my body that are lacking. And the other parts that are already decent will automatically get better anyway, right? Yeah. So it's like, you're already really good on this side. Start developing the stuff that you're not. Because this will automatically just happen for you. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the approach I'm trying to take. And you know, you can do that with everything. But with the gym, like that's what, you know, I'm not even saying it's a lot, dude, because I don't consider myself strong at all. Because again,
well, you have a different concept. Right?
You buy a Ferrari and it's like, oh, I got a Bugatti, dude. Your car sucks. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like,
well, you're looking at dudes benching 405 on the reg, and that's what you're comparing yourself to.
But like the other day, I don't even do flat bench. The other day I did, actually yesterday, Friday, and I think I got a hernia now, so I got to figure that out. But I'm 210 pounds. I did 225, 2 sets of 27 in a row.
Yeah, that's fucking bananas.
2 sets.
That's crazy.
You know, and my groin's been bothering me. That's why I didn't go up to like 315 or anything else. Because obviously, if I just warmed up with 225, I'd probably be doing sets of whatever with 315. But you know, I've always been really good at that, and that's why I haven't been doing. I still bench, but I haven't been going as hard on that. If that makes sense. I've been doing all my other stuff more. So when I did it, I was like, "Damn, dude, I can't believe I just did that," and I'm cutting right now.
Yeah.
So imagine what I would have did when I was 225.
No, dude, it's the same for me, dude. Like, you know, Megan and I got this competition the end of July, and I'm already strong, relatively speaking. You know, like to the competition in the gym. Like I got like horrible cardio, and like you know, Meg and the other dude that's doing it with me, Steve Ritter.
Okay, yeah, Steve Ritter. He's like, strong as shit.
He's like, dude, you just got to get your cardio better. I'm like, motherfucker, I know, dude.
Yeah, Steve Ritter's like 30, and he's like a monster, dude.
I'm like,
he's a monster.
I'm trying. It's you know, get like to your point, get better at the things you're not good at.
Yeah, and you know, my point to all that is I try not to compare myself to anyone else ever.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Ever. Comparing yourself to others is the thief of joy.
Yeah,
period.
Webb used to say the biggest thief of happiness is expectations.
It is. Like, you know, comparing yourself to others, and if anybody hears that, is the thief of joy. Because there's always going to be somebody stronger than you, better looking than you, faster than you, tougher than you, has more money than you. Even someone like Elon Musk, right? Richest man in the world. Well, guess what? He ain't the best looking man in the world. He ain't the toughest man in the world. So you're never going to have everything, no matter what you do. You know, no matter what you do, you'll never have it all. Yeah. And I mean, the best of everything. Yeah. So just try to be better than yourself. And if people that make their comments, oh, I benched 225 28 times. All right, cool, dude. Like, that's awesome. You did that. That's really, and I weigh 180 pounds. All right, cool, dude. So
you're
really
honest,
strong.
I struggle with that. Like, I'll do a workout and say the workout took me 10 minutes. And then I'll go home, I'll tell Megan, I'm like, yo, I fucking trashed the gym today. No one's going to beat me. I'll look at the scores at the end of the night and I'll see dudes like 8 minutes, 30 seconds. I'm like, motherfucker.
But you know what, though? That's cool, though, because if you do it next week and you do it in 9 minutes and 45 seconds, you got better than yourself.
Yeah.
And that's really all that matters. Yeah. It's just getting better than yourself because, you know, the only person you should ever be in competition with is yourself.
Yeah. You know and I think that's why I'm so fucking hard on myself, dude. That's why I'm so hard on myself. You know? All right, dude, we've been going for an hour and 50 minutes.
Whatever you want to do.
This is great. So I want to kind of finish with this. Like, I think that the best thing about life right now for us two specifically is, I'll start with me. It's like none of where my mind goes today, none of the things I think about, the things that I do were possible 6 months and like 18 days ago. Impossible. So like, I don't have to have the answers on what success is, or this is my opinion. I don't have to have the answers what success is or what happiness means to me. I know that being sober for me at least gives me the fucking chance to figure it the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't figure it out before because I couldn't stop getting high. You know what I mean? So at least I know I have the chance to figure it out. And like my therapist says this all the time, like, dude, like chill the fuck out, bro. You're not that far away from a drink. It's only been X amount of months. You know what I mean? How long have you been getting high for? I'm like on and off for 15 years, mostly on. He's like, yeah, dude, like relax. So like, I get it. I get it. Like I don't have to have all the answers today. Like we're human, dude. We're flawed.
You know what that reminds me of? Me, when I started my weight loss journey. Dude, you just ate like a slob for 3 years straight or 4 years, literally eating and drinking whatever you want, like an absolute slob.
Yeah.
And it took that long to get there.
It's going to take a while to get out of it.
And now you want to lose it all in 3 months.
Well, it's like walking a mile in the forest. It's going to take you a mile to get out.
So all right, so here goes the best. Here goes actually what is very, very similar. It's like when you start getting high, right? Well, the first time you go to rehab and shit, there's usually a couple pieces to pick up. You're kind of out. Oh yeah, wasn't too bad that time, right? Well, I remember when we were younger, right? When we went to the gym, what were we, 21 years old?
Yeah.
I was like 230 pounds. I got down to like 205 in like 6 weeks or 8 weeks. And it was like, boom, you're just in shape like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, now you're fat.
It's hard.
Before I was like a little pudgy. Now you're fat. now it's like, oh, now you're a junkie for real, dude. Like you're not just gonna just go to rehab for 10 days, come out like, oh, dude, we're cool now. No. Now you got to put the work in because you did this for so long. Like you cannot do something for that long and expect to just
instantly
in 2 months you're just, oh, we're cool, dude. We're back to normal. No, it doesn't work that way.
And that was the same point, right, with the sobriety.
Same point, dude. There's so many things in life that are the same. You know, they're so similar in what they could be. It's like, you know, I'm still physically not where I want to be. I'll probably never be.
That's what I was gonna say. You might not.
I'll probably never.
But you're always gonna strive for it. That's what
I'm
makes
gonna try.
Yeah.
So like my end all be all goal, and I told you this before. I want to get to like 215, 220. And I want to be like, I'd be happy with 15% body fat. Because that's when you start to see abs, right? I don't need full-blown abs. Just when you start to say, do you know how hard that's going to be, though? Like, I'm 210 right now, and I probably need to be 200 to probably be at the body fat I'd want to be at. You know what I mean? But so now you're talking 15, 20 pounds of muscle you got to have. How long does that take?
Long time.
5 years?
Never-ending journey.
And then when I get there, I'll be old as fuck, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're deteriorating." So now you ain't even going to reach it.
So, give me something good. Give me your final thoughts on this experience for you, because you are my best friend. You're other than my sister and my wife, you're the closest person I've had on the podcast. You know what I mean? So, give me something. Give me your final thoughts.
My final thoughts for you is, I love you, dude. I think you're doing great. I think you will accomplish anything you want to accomplish in life. But I'm going to touch back on the one thing again. I think you need to give yourself a break. And I think you need to start enjoying your friends and family more. Stop worrying so much about your career and this and that and all these things. Because, dude, you're going to do good there. You always have. I mean, look how far you came while you were getting high. I mean, you already became the superintendent while you were getting high. So it's not like...
I got the job when I was sober.
And then I got like a week, and then you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get high again because I got the job." Like it's not like, you know what I mean? It ain't like. My point is like, dude, I know you don't drink anymore, and I've said this to you before. Yo, if you don't want me to drink, or we don't have to drink around you. And I've said that, like, dude, I don't have to drink. Like I don't.
That's never an issue.
You know, and I believe that. And if it was, I think you would tell me. You'd be like, dude, done. Not a big deal.
Like we'll talk. A friend of ours, like who we used to party with, like. I can't go out to dinner with him like I do with you because it would just be in the back of my mind. So it's a people, places, and things.
Oh, 100%.
And you're not that trigger for me. So that's never an issue.
Well, that's a good thing. But yeah, like I want to see you enjoy life more. Like I'm out here enjoying life. I feel like every weekend, especially in the summertime with the boat and this and that, and yeah, we're not on a 50-foot yacht. You know what I mean? That'd be cool.
Be awesome.
But like. We're still on a pretty nice boat, doing awesome things every weekend pretty much. When it's nice out, we do things. We go here, we go to dinners, we do this. I want to see you more involved in that. And I think you will enjoy it.
I'll work on it.
And I will say there was a kid, and I don't know his name, at LOD.
Mhm.
And this was, I can't even tell you last time I was at a meeting years ago. And this is where sobriety really does throw a loop through like the whole thing, you know, like just a weird, like, whoa, dude, like you think you're doing good. Like in my eyes, you ain't doing, but I don't crosstalk. I don't tell people, you know, that's you. He was at 5 meetings that day because he's scared he's going to go out and get high because he was so fresh and new. He don't know what to do with himself, but he wasn't even that fresh and new. He had months sober, maybe 6 months, 7, whatever it was. It's like, dude, you still don't have a life. You have no life. You were literally in meetings all day long.
Are you comparing me to this guy?
I mean, you're not as extreme. not to that extreme. I'm not comparing to that extreme because you obviously have a life. You have a wife. You do, but you don't have any social life, really.
It's
the way you should because people enjoy being around you. You're good company.
Yeah.
There's no reason for you to shut yourself away unless you really feel like, yo, this is a trigger for me.
No.
Like, not just like, oh, I'm just tired. I'm just going to sit on the couch and watch TV all night. Like, no, dude, come out. You know, come get some wings, dude.
Well,
hang out.
You're my brother, dude. You're right. You know, and I want to see you live your life, dude. Like, I don't, you know, it's like the dude who dies with $100 million in the bank. Yeah.
Like, all right, cool, dude. You had a ton of money. You should have gave that shit to me so I could have did something with it, or you know, gave it away to somebody. So you know, gave it to the you know, homeless people, build houses. Like you didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You did nothing with you know, do something, man. Enjoy life.
I'm working on it.
Because everything else you have figured out.
I'm working.
You're doing great. All right.
I
want to say it.
I am.
Now we're gonna do a follow-up episode and like at the end of the summer, and I'm like, dude, this dude never came out one time. I don't know what the fuck. He didn't do shit.
Well, my thoughts on you, dude. I love you. Like you're my brother. And you know, Trace has been my best friend since preschool, and we have a different relationship than you and I. And you're my fucking brother, dude. And my dad loved you. I love you. You've been there for me since day one. You know what I mean? You've always been a good support system for me. And like, you hear that fucking dog? I told you, dude. But I'm saying like, your fucking story, man, you know, it's amazing, dude. Like you were a fucking mess and now you have a great family, dude. Like I want to be more like you, dude. I look at you. We went out to dinner, right? Me, you, Jackie, and Neil, and them guys, and I'm thinking, like, man, like, I want to be more like Gonzo. Like, I really do. And like Meg kind of beat me up over it. Like, you're doing fine. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but like, I want to be more like Gonzo. Like the social aspect that like, I don't know how to do it, dude. I'm struggling. And then I'm thinking, like, all right, well, it is only a little bit of sobriety. Like, you know, maybe it'll get better as time goes on. I haven't been this plugged into sobriety ever in my life. So maybe I'm just figuring it out, dude. You know what I mean? But like, I look up to you. I love you. And I'm glad you did this, bro.
Yeah, we're going to do it again.
We're going to do it again?
We'll definitely do it again.
Yeah. So now, you got to like and share this shit. Send it out, right?
I'm going to say I have a couple of friends that have pretty decent YouTube channels. I don't know. It's completely different content than what they do. So I do believe my one friend we need to have on the show somehow.
We can do it together. I got 4 setups.
He's not in sobriety, but he is a pastor.
Okay.
So that kind of intertwines a little bit, you know, with that stuff.
The whole goal of it all is, bro, like, and I said this a million times, like the day before rehab's arbitrary. It's like going from trauma, getting through it. How'd you get through it? You know what I mean? Yours was jail and drugs. Mine was drugs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Megan was a different situation. I had the guy Bucky on who did depression. I had the girl before that. She had an eating disorder. Like, it's inspiring to see people think they can't get out of a situation, get out of it, and then thrive.
So I don't know if he has anything like that, but you know what he does have that I think is awesome? He had his full-time job. He was a paralegal, right?
Mm.
And he worked from home, and he had his YouTube thing. And he only had like 30,000 subscribers. Well, I don't know if you know how YouTube works as far as how you get paid. It doesn't work on how many subscribers you have or how many views you have. It works on the duration of how long people watch your videos.
Okay.
So you could have 1 million subscribers, and if 800,000 of them people ain't even looking at your stuff no more just because they haven't unsubscribed to you, and out of them 200, they're not really watching it, it'll look like, oh man, that dude must make a ton of money. And this dude has 100,000 subscribers, but they're watching it back to back to back. He's making more money than that guy. Well, he got laid off and took the YouTube thing and just ran with it.
Really?
And now he has over close to 200,000 subscribers, not more. He does give all kinds of big stuff. Like, so it is cool to listen to him.
So if you watch this, we're going to get your appliances fixed for free. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, listen, I can call him after this. He has an awesome story. It's just a different kind of story.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
That's cool.
Like he had a family. Like he didn't know. He was like, I don't know if he didn't know if the YouTube thing was going to work out for a full-time, to be able to support a family full-time. I mean, that's
it seems like impossible.
Impossible. Yeah. And he just like, he didn't know what else to do.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'm just going to run with it.
Yeah.
And he's super successful now.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's like, what's your definition of success? You know what I mean?
Ford invites him out to do car things and all. Like, that's pretty successful in my eyes. But yeah, I mean, you know why he's successful? I'm going to tell you why. It's not because of the money he makes. It's because he does what he loves to do.
Yeah.
So he don't work. In his mind, he don't work. He wakes up every day and does car stuff. That's what he loves to do. And it all happened because something bad happened. And he just ran with it full time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was like, I think his story is pretty awesome, honestly.
It probably is.
It's just different. It's just
sounds
different.
like it is. Sounds like it is. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up.
All right, let's go.
I love you, bro. Day Before Rehab. Like, subscribe, get us out there. We're on Spotify as well. And thank you.
Later.
I guess I want to end it this way.
Love you, bro.
Yeah.
We love you, Dad.
I love all of you.
We love you, daughter.
I love you too.
Wow, that was nice.
And I tell you what. Let's go!